Bingo Study. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Epic. I'm joined by Serenalink. We are your
Hi.
commentators for this first match. And for anyone who doesn't know what control swap is, as Zap has said in the chat, control swap is a bingo tournament, but it is a bingo tournament with a difference. So the gimmick of this tournament is that each of the players, normally when you play Celeste, you have a set of keybinds that you are very familiar with, and you end up getting very used to when you put hundreds of hours into speedrunning. Unfortunately for these players, the keybinds they are using today are not their own. So they do in fact have to use their opponent's keybinds.
And that's gonna be very exciting. I bet we're gonna have some very funny moments.
So the players found out their matches a few days ago and have had since then to practice with each other's keybinds to get used to them a bit. But it should make for some really interesting games. We don't really have any particular skill level brackets in this tournament. It was just kind of whoever wanted to play, because as you can imagine, it's quite a bit to relearn.
Yeah. Changing controls can be very unsettling. So that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, looking forward to these matches. Should be interesting. I believe if the intermission title is correct, our first match is going to be Random Name versus Creep.
Yes, it is right.
I believe that Creep was originally Savadra, but Savadra unfortunately
Yes.
had to drop out of this competition because of issues with hand pain, which is very fair enough, I think. If you're gonna be playing unfamiliar binds, the last thing you want is to do yourself an injury, and so from that point of view, very reasonable to take a step back. Looks like the players are ready,
Oh.
or about to be ready. So we have Madeline versus...
Sounds about right.
Oh, and we are
Well, the match
off.
is going. Alright.
Right. What
So
can we
how's the
see
grid
on
look?
this board, Serenalink? Talk us through.
Okay, well, we can see if the quality is well enough. We have grabless start of 1A, that is a very early objective, but probably usually not one you would want to go for first pass. However, the bind changes can throw the game entirely differently than what they used to.
So, I believe, I mean, we see both players have input displays, which is
Yeah.
useful. I believe, as we can see, both of these players are playing on keyboard, but they
But they
are
don't have the same setup, I believe. Let me open the sheets.
very different in
Oh,
terms of
yes. So
keybinds on the keyboard.
random usually uses arrow keys for movement, whereas creep uses the WASD. So it's basically inverting hands.
Yeah, I know Random Name was practicing in voice chat about an hour before this stream started and was finding it very difficult to get used to the muscle memory of doing movement with the other hand. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Creep, it seems, off to a decent start. Oh wait, we're seeing... Okay, Random is playing dashless 1A start, it looks like.
Oh, interesting. And having trouble. Yeah, the muscle memory is hard.
Creep taking it slow and steady, you love to see it. Grabbing the winged berry. There are a decent number of really early quick objectives on this board.
Yeah, so we
Like
have
you have
Leto in Huge Mess, Theo in Shaft, and there's quite some objectives in 3A, but I see. Yeah, there's actually quite a lot of objectives in 3A, all centered around Shaft and Mess.
Yeah, we have Theo Shaft, we have a mess order, we have Grabless Shaft, that should be interesting. 3B if you want to play that. There are... Oh. I'm not seeing that much, like, fast progress, which is interesting. I'm looking at this and I'm kind of wondering where the objectives are.
Yeah. Same. Like,
There's a
it's
good
very
amount of
spread
3A
out.
stuff, but there doesn't seem to be one clear route on this board beyond, like... I mean, I guess you play 3A, but... Bingo!
I'm really very excited about this match.
Okay, Random has got through start and is now moving a lot faster. You do love to see that.
And he has
Actually
caught up
ahead
to
of Creep now.
Yeah, because Creep went for the cassette. Oh, and we see that Random is... Oh, Random is cruising! Like, I know he has spent a bunch of time practicing CD, getting, I think it was 110 something at some point. So a pretty good time for unusual binds.
I can't quite see the timer on the Discord stream, but it looks like it's just over 3 minutes coming into Finish City, which is not particularly special if you are just playing normally, but with someone else's keybinds, I mean, I know I would
And
struggle to get a
grab a
3-minute city.
start, doing grab a start as well can lose a bunch of time, and Random did lose quite a lot of time in the second room.
Oh, okay, so Reed is saying that Random is actually playing with his hands physically crossed right now, and otherwise the binds are normal, so...
Oh!
He's in a decent spot, apparently. But that does mean that Creep is also... If their binds are quite close and Creep is just playing different hands, then maybe Random's onto something here.
Yeah, that's an interesting strategy. Like, of course you get more discomfort physically, but I think it's a lot easier on the muscle memory.
Yeah, we see the early objectives being split, that's no surprise. Usually if you go for one of those, then you can expect to not win the other one. Interesting that they both decide to go for them first pass, because I feel like normally both of those objectives are things that are relatively slow. Oh, random dies with the intervention berry. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Okay. We'll see if creep goes for that, and if not, then random might just have lost that.
I mean, with how
Random
far
name,
ahead random
not quite
he
sure where
is,
the grab button is.
yeah. But I think with how far ahead he is, random would have time to return to map after intervention and get the berry before creep does. But he's probably not going to do this because he most likely doesn't have a very good idea of where creep is right now.
That is the thing with control swap, is that it's so hard to figure out where your opponent is going to be, because you know that you're in a place, and usually you have some idea of how long everything else is going to take an opponent.
Okay.
Um,
So creep does go for the berries as well. We'll see
Yeah.
what random chooses to do.
I don't expect we'll see random go back for this. I think it's too much of a time commitment.
Yeah.
And also, that's sort of assuming that... Wait, random probably grabs these berries, but I don't see random going back when
Yeah.
he has this.
Me neither. And there's not many berries objectives.
No, there's a couple of, like, specific checkpoint ones.
Yeah.
In fact, there's only one specific checkpoint one, and that's intervention. So, yeah, basically just
so
ignore berries for the rest of the game, probably. Oh no, there's search berries as
probably.
well. And
I think
pico
random
berries,
just
but that doesn't count.
grab the intervention berries so he can finish the objective quickly afterwards if it's still available, but yeah, this is probably just
Random
going
getting
to be
some
creep
ultras in
objective.
Awake. You love to see that.
Yeah, faster awake than I do with my regular binds.
This is a pretty substantial progress lead for random name here.
Yeah, Creep definitely is not at ease with the binds, whereas random is actually going quite smoothly with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say random's at ease with the binds, but certainly seems to be having less trouble than creep.
So random chooses to play 3A. I think it's reasonable with this board.
Yeah, this makes sense.
And he will at some point, I'm pretty sure, he will see creep take the intervention berries, which will tell him that he is ahead in progress.
Creep is having a bit of a moment in this room, though. Has been
Yeah.
here a while.
I think I think he's kind of forgetting the casual strats or something.
I think
my bad.
Creep as a player is someone who has a lot of really fast strats. And I don't... This is going to sound a little bit mean, but I think Creep tends to be less consistent than random name, generally. Creep, in normal circumstances, I would back Creep in this, like, in a straight race most of the time. But with these different binds, it's kind of... The consistency seems to be coming in clutch here. Because if the only strats you know are like really complicated ones, and you're suddenly trying to do those on an unfamiliar control method, then like it's gonna be harder. So I think we're seeing that here.
You know what? I just thought of something very interesting. I wonder how players would adapt to some control scheme like Rick Fernello's. Because he plays with half keyboard and half controller. So that's gotta be very. That's gotta be hard to adapt to, I think.
I think with all of these things, it's just what you're used to, though, right? Oh, see a reverse from random name. That's
Yeah.
those are not easy
Some
to
pretty
pull
quick
off.
gameplay.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just what you're used to. Rick Vanello infamously with the half controller, half keyboard setup. But with Creep's only just about to finish awake, 6.5 minutes in 2A.
Yeah.
This is not looking good for Creep.
And they are even in objectives. And Random has half a chapter lead, pretty much.
Okay, but
There.
Creep does skip Resort, though. I think this is
Oh,
good. I
okay.
think Creep
Yeah.
has recognized that there is no way that she's going to be able
Yeah.
to catch up with these.
A safe decision.
Take the L
Now
on
I
the
wonder
Resort
what she
stuff.
can play with this, because there aren't objectives in Ridge.
No, I think you
So
have to rush Temple here.
yeah,
Maybe grab the
Rush
blue heart
Temple.
on the way, but like... I think your goal here is to get to late game, maybe through 5A, to get Mirror Temple Blue Search Arb, Grabless Search.
Oh, but Trip is getting some berries on the way. Is she planning on getting the 45 berries at some point? It seems like a big commitment for only one objective.
I guess if you're going past reasonably quick berries, it's not that big of a deal to detour for them, especially in a tournament like this where you don't know how long you've got to do stuff. So just
Random during the
an
room
objective.
normally. Not seeing the corner kick, it's unusual. Oh, he gets it.
Does get the corner kick though. Realizes that doing the room normally is hard.
Yeah, it's easier with towels at the end because you have the huge block in the middle you can just grab onto.
Yeah.
But that's shaft for huge mess for random. Oh, he's going to do grabless shaft. I'm excited
Yeah, I
to
mean, makes
see
sense.
how it will go.
Makes sense. You might as well tick off objectives. You don't know where your opponent is, so you just keep getting stuff, I guess.
And we see that he's ticking the objectives instantly, not taking any risk.
Well, you have no way of knowing that your opponent has spent 6.5 minutes in sight, do you? So, like, you can't delay things here because you don't have a clue where creep is.
And to be honest, here, that doesn't even give much information to creep, because seeing the board, I think she knew random was going to 3A and was getting all the objectives.
This is some reasonably clean grabless shaft gameplay for someone who is playing on keybinds that they have never played on before.
It's going very smooth.
Grabless shaft is definitely not the hardest grabless checkpoint in 3A, but it's not trivial.
And taking the cassette on the way.
I think from creep here, what I'd like to see is rushing temple, getting mirror temple blue, maybe unlocking unraveling. You're not going for 4 blue hearts right away, but you do need to win that objective at some point, probably, from this position. And Mirror Temple Blue being by itself an objective is a big deal for that, because it means it's less of a commitment, almost.
Okay, so Crip is getting the 4A heart. So that's one. She's probably gaining the temple one in the next chapter. But at this point, I don't even know if there is a scenario in which random skips 4A and gets to temple before creep.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that'll happen. It might.
It might.
And
Like
if random skips 4A here, which, I mean, it's hard to know that that's the right thing to do, because you have no idea where creep is. For all
Yeah.
you know, creep is directly behind you. But but if creep's directly behind you, then I guess you skip 4A anyway, because the 5A stuff is just there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe.
I think the one situation you don't want is skipping 4A and immediately after creep takes off temple objective.
Oh yeah, by the way, shoutouts to random, like, still just playing with Grabless for no reason.
Well, I mean,
As
it's
Reed
not the
pointed out
worst
in the
checkpoint
chat.
to do grabless. It doesn't remove too much in this one.
Okay, creep is now into Old Trail. Do we see a skip? Yeah, no, we see a skip. We see an we see a save and quit. Okay. Right,
So
we're
yeah,
back.
it's a rage skip. Oh, but
Oh, this is looking very bad for
I
creep
I
now.
don't
If
want
she keeps
to start
playing
this
Ridge
early,
here.
but it feels like creep is dead
I
right there.
think this is a shot out. I don't see how
Because
creep ever comes back here,
random,
because random wins 2 keys in 2 from this as
yeah,
well, with Mirror
two keys
Temple
in
Blue.
2, all berries in search, mirror temple blue, and everything falls apart for creep.
I just don't see how you're ever gonna come back into this game now. This is really rough.
Yeah, yeah, I think there was just too much of a difference in adapting to the new control scheme.
Creep trying to do Cloud Super or Reverse or whatever that strat is. Realizing it's not really that simple
Nah.
on the... Oh! Random going for DCB.
Yeah.
Gets the
Doesn't get the
first bit,
corner
doesn't
boost,
get
but yeah.
the launch, but... Still
It
not
is not
really
going for
using the
second
grab
blockless.
button.
Somehow. What? Why is random not using grab?
I mean, look, if you want any indication as to, like, how difficult this is for these players, Creep not going for second blockless,
Oh,
which is a
side
strat that
switch.
she almost always tries. Oh, we have a commercial break in progress. Yeah. Creep is known for being... Yeah, don't worry about the commercial break. We'll be back in a minute.
Yeah.
But Creep is known for having, like, some extremely solid ridge strats that she always goes for, and so, like, for someone like Creep to not be going for that just tells you a lot about how
What is
difficult it
random
is.
doing?
Random is unable to grab, and so is instead doing one-tile neutrals.
Yeah, but even if you're playing grabless, you can grab the walls out of these bubbles.
But Random is, like, not pressing the grab button, I think,
Yeah.
at all. So...
I don't know what's going on there, but he's cooking
This is...
something.
If Random is playing true grabless, that probably explains why Ridge Skip was not even considered more than a few seconds. Because
Skip is
Grabless
having a
Golden
really
Ridge
hard
is
time.
really hard, actually.
He's having a really hard time in this second blockless room, getting the block to go to the end. Okay,
I
finally
have
makes
not
it.
seen that strat before, but sure, that's cool, I guess.
Neither have I, but
Just ride the block through the spike without going for the switch or the spinner.
there are so many ways to skip this coin.
Random is now into unraveling though, and Creep's only just about to enter cliff face. Okay, we
Giving
see a
up the
Marlin
wind
route.
room, getting to the berry room to avoid the wind. I think it's a smart move. Oh, but dies at the end.
Random does just appear to be playing true grabless. Gets
Don't know
that
what's
room
going on.
first try.
Never seen something like that.
Trying to hug the Seeker. We are, like, it is very clear that Random is more comfortable, and whether that is just
Yeah.
because he's figured out that swapping hands is the play.
The thing is, it can work when your opponent has different keyboard binds. But what if he plays controller players? Like this, there won't be a way out. He will have to just go with the controller.
Random, I believe, has been practicing on controller for, like, a good couple of days, because Savadra, who was gonna play this match,
Yeah.
is a controller player. And so Random has been grinding out learning controller on the Switch, I believe. Okay, we
Okay,
see
so
an
random
RTM.
returns to map.
Goes
Oh,
back
returns
into
to
search.
for the.
Oh, turns on grabless. I see. Yeah.
Okay, now this makes sense.
So Random, who has been playing true grabless, now has also the grabless variant enabled.
Yeah, going for the berries in search as well. So with
Yeah, I mean,
how late creep is, that's gonna be two objectives for random, and I mean
so here's the thing.
he
I
can close out
don't know if I
any
like
team.
first pass search berries in this position for Random. And the reason I don't know if I like it is because you have no clue where Creep is. The last thing Creep has ticked was all berries in intervention.
Yeah, creep is a ghost right now.
And if you don't know where your opponent is, and you are playing something like Search, and Grabless Search is an objective, then, in my head at least, the thing to do there is to get that first, as it's more a progress thing, and then come back later, because search berries are quite slow.
Yes. And so, what are the easy objectives remaining afterwards for random? Probably the 1 by 9 5.
Yeah,
With
one bino in
access to
5.
summit and reflection.
Although,
I mean,
I think Random has one binocular right now.
has two A's binocular, right?
Yeah, it would be 2A bino, and that's it, because Random skipped 4A and played 3A.
Yeah. But
I
after finishing
don't think
5A,
Random got the cassette here.
nope. After finishing 5A, he has access to summit. He has reflection, where there's a bino in the cassette room, and maybe he could grab a bino in 6B start. That would put him to 4. So after that, doing 4A start till the cassette room could close out the objective. But again, he has no idea where a creep is.
Yeah, I mean, for all you know, Creep is just on your tail the entire time, being locked out of everything you're doing, so... it's so hard to make calls in this position as to what to do because you just don't know what's safe.
Yeah, and it's especially harder to make calls in this tournament setting because you have no idea if you get the objective because you're locking your opponent out, or if it's because you're just better with your blinds.
I'm fairly certain Random did get the 3A cassette, yes.
Yeah, he did get the cassette. Oh, he's going back for. Is it a 1A full clear?
This looks like all
Oh, it
collectibles
is.
1A, yeah. I
Really
guess if you think you're
grabless,
not
mind you.
I guess if you think you're not in a progress race, this is good because it's I mean, this is very clean looking so far from Random. Very clearly has sort of gotten used to the controls at least a little bit now. It's so interesting
Don't
to
get
see
why
as
he's.
we go through this game just how people.
I'm baffled by him playing grabless all the way.
Uh, I think it's probably a case of whatever Creep's grab button is in a really awkward spot that he just doesn't want to deal with, and so he's decided that the best thing to do is to not use grab
I mean, maybe,
where possible.
but that's definitely a choice.
Yeah, but it seems to be working. I mean, especially if you're able to skip Ridge, which is probably
Yeah.
the chapter you would most want to grab in.
Yeah, indeed, because of the wind, it's like very
Does
hard
manage
to
to
do
find the grab button
grabless.
at least for a second there to activate the zipper.
At least activating the
Um,
blocks. Random is really doing a mean grabs percent here.
I do find it very funny that it is, it appears to be easier for Random just to do lots of neutrals
Yeah.
on unfamiliar controls than it is to press the
Yeah,
grab button at all. Um,
which really weeds me out. I like even just using my second jump button for neutrals, I can't. So Grip is getting to the end of Cliff Face. I really don't see any way of even getting an objective right now.
I think Creep's best play to get one objective is literally just to rush 4 blue hearts.
Yeah,
Maybe
probably.
maybe Pico 8 as well, because that's... You'd have to backtrack for that, but... I mean, Creep entered 4A before Random entered 3A, I think. No, after.
Trip entered 4A when Random was finishing Mess, I believe.
Yeah, so in the time that Creep has been playing 4A, Random has
Done half
played
of 3A
most of
and
5A, half
Temple.
of 3A, and a good amount of 1A full clear.
Yeah. That sounds like a pretty one-sided match.
Random is so committed to not pressing grab that he's just gonna try this. Okay.
This is getting very ridiculous.
Yeah, this is a strat ever for anyone who hasn't done it before.
What is he doing right now?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Does
okay.
grab. Gives up on the grabless thing. Does press the grab button. I mean, someone should go back after this and look at how many times random presses
Okay,
the grab
so
button.
here comes one of the few forced grabs to get to the cassette room.
Oh, but now Creep's going for 1A
Oh
full
no!
clear.
Oh yeah,
Oh
that's gonna
no.
be sad.
This is rough. Creep, I am so sorry.
Yeah, it's probably going to get to half of crossing when random finishes the chapter.
And I don't think random's gonna delay this either, because you can't.
Yeah, and
You
I
have
mean,
no idea that Creep isn't doing this right now.
there's no objective where Creep is ahead at this point.
Okay. Random is trying to get this one without grabbing, which is not
No.
hard, but not the easiest berry to get grabless.
I mean,
Does tend to kill me a few times
probably
if I ever
easier
do
to
it.
just try to focus on grabbing once. This is a very funny gameplay. Random, just grab the block.
There is... You can see the internal struggle in Random every time that he is forced to press the grab button. Of just like, where is it?
At this point, it feels like a political conviction.
Command Frog,
It's really
yes,
a
those are
commitment.
carrots. Those are carrot berries. They are... It is a mod made by Animating Dragon. It is very cool.
I think Trip is typing probably going to be the end of the game here. Maybe not. Anyway, Random is going for the 4 blue hearts. And
Oh,
he
but now Creep's
does
doing it
have
as
sample
well!
heart right now.
Oh
Yeah, but
no.
Creep doesn't have access to 4 arts immediately.
Yeah,
She only has 1A, 2A,
this is
and has
unfortunate.
already grabbed 4A. Yeah.
Random, I can't beat 5A. Yeah.
Yeah. And even getting to the hearts is getting hard.
Oh no. Okay. Oh, Random is menuing into some other kind of map. Don't know what that was.
Well, now going to reach to get the... I'm guessing Bino and Blue Heart?
Yeah,
Question mark?
probably.
Which would make it 12 objectives. And then, I mean, you just get
I mean,
reflections
here's the
in Blue
thing.
Heart, right?
I'm fairly certain that Random just wins in Summit.
I
If
mean,
he went to
Ran
Summit right now.
right now, whatever Random chooses, he wins. Because Reflection is out of Creep's range. Summit is out of Creep's range. All Heart's objectives are out of Creep's range. Random is ahead on all objectives of this grid, pretty much.
Summit just has straight 3 objectives in it, though. You've got 2,000 and 2,500 meter gems, you've got 8 winged, and you've got Summit cassette.
You still can get over the grab.
Random name still stubbornly refusing to press the grab button.
To answer chat, no, Random cannot toggle invoke grab. This is part of the settings that players have to follow. So, yeah, there's no toggle grab.
Oh, hang on.
Or is it?
Sorry,
I'm-
I'm being distracted by a thing in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, okay.
I think
Okay, so
we're good.
random is coming to the heart. Also grab berries on the way. Oh,
Oh
that's
no,
wait, that's 45
that's
berries.
45.
I
Oh,
so it
creep!
ends
I'm
on
so
the
sorry.
so it ends right now on the blue hearts with the berries. All right, well that's GG.
Is it GG? I don't think it's GG yet. It's about to be though.
Oh no, okay, the sorry, the random stream was late to the
Okay, 3B.
objective sticks. Okay, well that's a safe win, but I think pretty much everything on this grid is a safe win.
I mean, what is
Even
Creep gonna do? Like, random could be in core right now. Oh, but we are
random
seeing
could have.
Grabless 3B though.
Oh, I was. Wait, no. Okay, I know. I was gonna say random can just finish 5A and go to reflection or something, but random doesn't use grab. So Theo is a big hurdle.
Oh, that's a good point. True Grabless. I didn't even think about that. Because with the
So
Grabless
that
variant, obviously you can still pick up Theo, but if you just
so
can't use the grab button, that's a different
so for
question.
this reason, it's a grabless 3B. That's something I wasn't expecting in this tournament.
Okay, is grabbing
Grab
here?
grabs! Oh my god!
Is using the grab button? No way!
He's doing it! I mean, oh no, no, I was gonna say he's probably just getting the Bino, but no, if he doesn't finish 5A, he doesn't have Bino access in Summit and Reflection. So that's not an option either. That this game is getting very slowly.
This room grabless seems like a time.
Yeah. I mean, he gets it fine
Is
though.
Creep going for Chad Ultra?
Oh my.
I think Creep is going for
Is
Chad
it Stealing
Ultra.
Pop or Chad Ultra? It's Chad Ultra. What? I mean, it feels like she's getting desperate, but
I mean, this is
I
Creep. I don't know what we expected, but you know.
I appreciate the attempt. Like,
Is Random trying to one-tile neutral this room? Because
I don't know.
it looks like he is.
This is this is definitely not your usual Celeste gameplay.
Right, well we got
Right now,
we have
both
Chad
players,
Ultra on Creep's side and Grabless 3B on Random's side. Take your
both
pick,
players
friends.
are really committed to doing something very stupid.
Okay, does give in and use grab there.
I think Random is mixing up grab and dash is the thing, because I've seen him use the dash multiple times instead of the grab in the middle of the room.
Hmm.
Well, that's most certainly not how I was expecting this game to end.
Fair play to
Oh,
Random note,
and
though. This is
yeah,
some seriously impressive showing from someone who has been playing this control scheme for, I think, about 2 hours maximum.
I'm not gonna lie, the first time I played Celeste, I forgot grab you was an existing thing after the prologue, and uh, I only realized it like halfway through city. So I'm not gonna blame him. That's it. GG. GG to both players.
GG.
That was certainly a way to finish this game.
Wow. That was that was something.
But I was expecting things in this tournament, but definitely not playing 95% of the game grabless because you're too bothered using the button.
That was certainly interesting.
Okay. Well, that was fun. That was fun commentating this match. Hope everyone enjoyed it. So next match is Julie versus Ad. Let me check the bind. Okay, so Ad is an arrow key player and Julie an analog player. So this will be our first match where a keyboard player uses controller and vice versa. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, the classic keyboard versus controller debate.
Now
Once
we
and
will
for all
see.
will be settled today.
Yes. Keyboard wins. Keyboard wins.
Controller wins! Controller wins! I'm not
As you
at
can
all
see,
biased.
commentators are totally unbiased. Well, anyway, I'm leave my spots. I think. Who is it coming on comms right now? It is
Cookie, I
It
think.
is Cookie. Yep.
I will be sticking around for the next one,
Yep.
but Serena Link will be leaving. So, thank you, Serena Link, for commentating.
That was a great time.
Yeah.
So, see you everyone.
Hello, Cookie.
Hello, Epic.
I think we are quite a bit ahead of schedule right now.
Yeah, just the previous game ending 13-2 probably didn't help with that, although I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Might have also get slightly ahead of schedule, maybe.
I believe the next match was due to start in 35 minutes, so it
Yeah, I
we
had
might
to
have
go
to
and
fill
eat
some
early
time here
because
while these players get ready, because I think they've been playing some last-minute warm-up.
Dad just woke up by the look of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That would make things a little bit more difficult. But I'm glad Ad is here.
Well, it appears we have an official random name hand reveal now, after that game has ended.
Oh, yeah.
That's an interesting hand position. It's in the event discussion channel in the Discord server, if you want to see it.
Oh, that's, yeah, that is certainly interesting.
Creep uses the wrong hands, so true random. Anyway.
Well, I mean, it seemed like it worked for random. That was some seriously impressive gameplay there for someone who has
that
only
gameplay was
just...
actually really good, considering Zev dropped out fairly last minute. And all of the binds random had practiced, then just are the ones he was using.
But I guess that's one way of doing it, though. I mean, it sounds like Creep is slightly unhappy with that, which is kind of fair enough.
Yeah, that's understandable. I would be unhappy if I lost 13-2 in a restreamed game. That's just how it goes sometimes.
Okay. So it looks like we are getting to have a look at the bracket. Interesting to note here, I was mentioning this earlier, but we don't really have, like, set in stone skill levels for this tournament, because obviously it's really hard to place people who are playing on controls that they don't normally play on. So you've got, in terms of bingo execution, you've got Ad all the way down as, I believe, the only intermediate player. Oh no, Julie's an intermediate player as well in this tournament. But Julie has about, in a normal bingo match, a normal any percent, Julie is, I think, about 6 or 7 minutes faster than Ad. So it'll be really interesting to see how much the swapping controllers changes that. I believe Mishi is advanced now, Math.
I think Mishi's advanced, and I'm pretty sure Creep's also advanced now.
Creep is advanced.
And Dragon and Random are both expert, I believe.
Yeah. But this match in particular should be really interesting because, as was mentioned earlier, this is the first time we're gonna see keyboard to controller swaps.
Yeah.
So Ad is usually a keyboard player and is playing on controller, and Julie is usually a controller player and is playing on keyboard. And Ad in particular, I've seen doing quite a lot of practice with controller in the past couple of days. So it should be really interesting to see how that goes. Ad was asking me for tips and tricks, as I am a controller player myself.
Just out of curiosity, what advice did you give as a controller player? Because I'm a keyboard player and I'm interested to hear, having never played controller.
Fast fall bind.
Yeah.
Have a fast fall
That's
bind.
what I've heard. Fast fall bind.
Don't try and fast fall with an analog stick. Just don't.
I have seen the analog dead zones. They are not good for down.
Yeah. And especially if you play analog, don't expect to be able to down diagonal dash ever. You will down dash or you will side dash, and most of the time that stuffs up your hypers, so if you want to do a hyper, the demo button is your best friend. This is my experience of playing on controller. Oh yeah, and jellyvators are really easy with the fast fall bind. If you ever have to do a jellyvator.
I hadn't considered that it applies to jellyvators as well. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I discovered that playing Strawberry Jam, that using fast fall button made them way easier. So,
I'm trying to find the Desmos graph that shows analog dead zones, and I can't find it anywhere, unfortunately.
Anyway, Cookie, I've shared what tips and tricks I have for controller. Have you got any that you would like to share for keyboard? Because I am curious to
none
hear.
really. I've had like one piece of advice that I've had some people give. I'm not quite sure how good it is, but instead of having like the arrows as they are, is to bind 4 adjacent keys as the up, down, left, and right, so that we have a different finger for each direction. I haven't tried it out myself, so I don't know how it is, but apparently it's good if you can get used to it, because you don't need to move your finger between up and down.
Yeah, I can see that. Must be kind of weird to get used to it, though.
I'm not really sure if I have any advice I would give just from my own experience, other than find a set of keys that don't lead to some of them getting ghosted.
Yeah. Yeah, that would work.
Like, at one point I had my demo on S, but that meant if I did an up-left demo while holding grab, the demo did not register, so I moved it to D.
Yeah, I personally haven't played that many platformers on keyboard at all, so it's interesting to me, just watching other people do it because it's so different. I think that's something you don't really realize is, certainly the default binds on Celeste. I tried playing with the keyboard a while back because before I had 1500 hours of muscle memory in this game, I was like, well, maybe I should try and learn keyboard so that I don't have the issues of misdirecting down rights and down lefts all the time. And I played on keyboard for about 30 seconds and decided that it was not an experience I ever wanted to repeat.
I've never played Celeste on controller, but I have played various other platformers and similar games on controller. Like, I've played a fair bit of Mario Maker Kaiser on controller. I have had experience with controller, but in Mario, you don't need to do down diagonals, it's kind of just up, down, left, right, so I never really had the issue that people have with Celeste, where you have 8 different directions that you need to differentiate between.
I think, my theory, and I don't know if this is true or not, but my theory with the keyboard controller thing is that it is easier to go from keyboard to controller than it is to go from controller to keyboard. And
That's what I've
this
seen
is
so far
my
as well.
theory. I don't know if this is actually the case. I have very little experience of whether it would be the case, but I reckon for people who have played any kind of console game ever, controller for me feels like it would be a more intuitive control method than keyboard.
I feel controller is more normalized between games than keyboard is. Keyboard controllers like vary a lot from game to game, whereas controllers are often very similar, as in left stick to move, right stick to move the camera, like trigger buttons on the back to do anything that you need to hold down, and then the buttons on the front for like a jump and stuff. Like those are just like the generic controllers for about 90% of games.
Yeah, and like, because they tend to be fairly similar, if you've played any kind of similar game before, then you have the muscle memory from that, even if it doesn't directly translate, it's close enough that, like, you can transfer what you know from the other game to this one.
Yeah.
But again, this is just my theory, so it might be completely wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bullet makes a point as well in the chat about, like, if you've grown up with different control schemes, you'll find things easier or harder.
You know, I grew up with a Wii remote, so what does that mean for me?
I mean, same. Nintendo DS and Nintendo Wii. Wii Sports.
I never really played much Wii Sports, but I did have it somewhere. Wii Remote Celeste Arc incoming. I'm just gonna pull out a Wii Remote and Nunchuck and just like start playing Celeste with motion controls.
Shake to dash.
Yeah, shake to dash.
Did Creep just soundboard the VC?
Possibly. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if flying has soundboard enabled or not, but I definitely heard it.
Oh dear. Hi, Creep. You're here now. Stream can't see
I'm
you,
just
but
looking
you
at
are
the music
here.
that's playing. I have no idea what this music is, and I don't want to listen to it because that means unmuting the stream and hearing my own voice. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Never mind, I can. It's playing through Discord as well. Oh no, we weren't supposed to spoil the Creeps in VC. Creeps hiding.
If Creep wanted to hide in VC, Creep shouldn't have joined with a soundboard.
But Mushroom suggested tilt controls on the Wii Remote, so I present the idea of use the Mario Kart steering wheel to play Celeste. DK bongos are the best input method, yeah. Oh, Creep is apparently reffing. Okay, that makes sense.
I'm fairly certain that anyone who's currently in the Discord server can see who's in the commentary channel, so it's not that big of a secret.
It seems there's going to be some sort of ruling against swapping your hands on the keyboard after the previous game. Is there a ruling against holding the controller upside down or not?
I mean, if you want to use the bumper and trigger with your thumb, then I guess be my guest. I certainly wouldn't recommend holding your controller upside down.
I meant turn it upside down the other way, not turn it upside down like
Yeah, random. I think there is going to be a
There is a
rule
rule
that you
against.
can't swap your hands anymore. It was a very impressive showing, but it was fairly one-sided.
Only slightly one-sided.
But hey, this is what these kinds of events are for, just like, we're here to have fun. And just
we were
like
here to
mess
perform
about with some
unethical
funny...
experiments on innocent bingo players, Epic.
I don't know if, like, you can call these players innocent when they signed up to it.
But that's what they want you to think. These players did not join this out of free will. They were forced into this.
Random, can you confirm that you were forced into this? Yes, for legal reasons, that is a joke. We do need to say that. No one was forced to do anything here. We are all volunteers and people playing for fun. oh no, random name, I will play any weird variant of bingo you can possibly think of, is forced into playing control swap.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, some of these players are having fun. I think Random was having fun. I'm not sure Creep was having fun.
Mandatory fun. You must have fun or else.
You did organize it. I mean, shoutouts to Creep for this event even happening in the first place, because Creep is the one that came up with the idea here.
Hmm.
And Creep is the reason that we are here now, because
Yeah.
she has put a lot of work into organizing this and making this happen, along with Flying Ludicolo.
Hmm. Yeah, I never thought we'd have a bingo bash dedicated to people playing the wrong input method, but here we are.
Control swap bingo isn't real, it can't hurt you. Control swap bingo. Anyway, Serena Link makes a good point. Fun is mandatory here in the Celeste community.
Hmm.
Shoutouts to Arrow Bounce putting a Misc Bingo ping in Bingo Misc, while there is Misc
Oh,
Bingo happening on the stream.
I found the Desmos graph for analog dead zones. It's a bit late now, but here it is in chat if anyone's interested. I don't fully remember what all of the lines mean, but there's a light up that goes along with it. Anyone's interested?
Flying flew in. Aha! We have a game, it looks like.
Oh.
We have add and add.
Out. Who's gonna win? Ads or ad? Place your bets now.
My money's on add.
Hmm.
Right, we're
Yes,
into
what
game.
do we have on this board?
I see read the poem in Awake. I see 1-up in 2. I see 5 berries
Right off the
Pico.
bat of this. Right off the bat of this, I've noticed 15 berries in 3, 15 berries in 4, 10 berries 3A, all collectibles 2A, and all berries in depths, and 20 berries 7A.
That's a lot of berries.
That is a lot
1
of
up
berries.
in 2. 1 up in 2 goes
1
with
up in
that
2
as well.
helps towards that as well, yeah.
This is a much nicer looking board than the previous one.
I didn't look at the previous one too much because I had to go and eat food halfway during that game, but
like early on we've got 1 up in 2, we've got Theo Crossing, we've got Grabless 2A, we've got Read Poem in Awake. That's a lot of early game. And if you want to go for berries, that's 2A full clear, you've got all of the other stuff that you mentioned.
it's going to be interesting to see if both players go berries, or whether one of the players decides to rush 10 snowballs and 3-seeded here. 1 up
Feels
in 2
like-
might honestly be a late game objective here. Yeah, math might be right here.
I would agree with you if it weren't for the fact that these are 2 intermediate players who are likely to value 1 up in 2 higher than people in higher brackets. Because I think at intermediate level, people haven't got quite as good an idea of, like, the opportunity cost of stuff.
It appears
Okay.
Julie is going for the 1-ups.
Julie's going for 1-ups. Is actually, like, really solid, it looks like. Are we sure Julie's playing on different controls? I mean, I can see
Sure hope that
Julie has
isn't
a
a comms
keyboard, and I know
epic.
Julie's a controller player, but this is very clean.
Okay, nice.
And this is
It's not, in
very
fact, a
clean from
comms
both
class.
players, actually.
Like it, you could have comms cast that so badly, Epic.
Yeah, I know. What are we here for?
Oh well, it's a risk you have to take as a commentator. Oh yeah, these players did have more prep time than the previous game's players. That is fair.
Yeah, I mean, Ad has been playing entire blackout boards to prep for this. I'm less sure what Julie's been doing, but I know Julie's been doing a fair bit of prep as well. Not quite as much as Ad, though.
Well, it appears people want to see a comms curse. So I'm going to say that the Ad's not going to die for the entire rest of this game.
That is a
Look at how
bold
well
claim.
Ad's playing. Ad's not going to die in the entire rest of this game. Yeah, this is an interesting
This is
board.
so much cleaner than the previous game from both players.
Like, yeah, there's a lot of berries on this board, but what do you lose by going for the berries? You lose Grapplers 2A, you lose Snowballs, you lose, like, Depth's Key, you lose Summit Binos, you probably lose a Home and Awake, although it might be too early to really say them.
Okay, Ad had a reasonable amount of lead going into this chapter and has lost quite a bit of it due to restarting to turn on Grabblers. So we'll see if that makes a difference.
Surely
is
someone's
still
going
ahead
to play
here.
Fast Search. So presumably we're going to see another 1-up from Julie here.
Yeah, I would think so. I think if you get the 1-up in 1A, you're probably committed to getting the 1-up in 2A, and I think that'll be good for Ad, because Ad will know that she has an advantage.
Like, surely Julie's going to do intervention 1-up. Julie? Okay, we're going to rush the seeded. Interesting.
Seeded Berry Collect being very lenient today.
Yeah.
Okay, is going for the 1-up, it looks like. Oh, but Collect,
I guess it
though.
makes sense to I guess it makes sense to form the seeded berry first before you start the 1-up, so that way you don't need to deal with that room while doing the 1-up.
Oh, Collect again. Okay, I think surely Julie just says go next on this now. Maybe you still grab some berries, but
then just try again in I was gonna say in 3A and then
3A 1-up, yes. That is something that intermediate players definitely do normally especially when they have weird controls.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Maybe Julie will try again in like a 4A. That makes a lot more sense.
The thing that's awkward for Julie here is that with losing that 1-up, Ad is now going to be out of 2A with like 3 objectives probably. And Julie's not gonna have any until she goes and gets another 1-up.
It does look like Ad's ignoring a lot of the berry stuff, though.
Yeah, I think Ad is ignoring berries, but I don't hate this play. I think when you've got Poem in 2A, Grabless 2A, and crossing Theo and stuff. I think crossing Theo usually ends up being bait, but in this case it was good because Julie went for the 1-up and Ad didn't.
Yeah.
So you kind of trade those objectives there.
I'm
Which
not
is
quite sure
like
whether you want to 3A skip or not as Ad here. So you can make an argument either way. I say you skip 3A as Ad here.
Okay, Julie is now ahead. Importantly. Julie has a progress lead with Ad going to get Poem, but I don't think Julie is playing Grabless, so it's not going to matter. What it might mean is that Ad thinks she's ahead when she isn't.
No, Ad has a progress lead. Julie was in intervention, Ad was in awake.
Oh, Ad's in awake. I'm good. Okay. They look the same, okay?
Awake doesn't exist. The chapter ends at intervention, so you should quit out there.
Don't quit out at intervention. I've done that before, it doesn't end well.
Interestingly enough, Ad goes into 3A and goes for berry. Julie skips 3A.
A 10 berries in 3A is an objective, though.
Yeah.
And you've got a mess order as well, so this is pretty
yeah,
reasonable.
No,
and 5 berries Pico and 3B. There's a lot of decent reasons to be here. I think probably I would prefer 4A here, but that would be if I'd got berries already and Ad hasn't. So I think Ad is probably just going here to try and break some synergy for Julie, but Julie's not here.
Julie hasn't
So it's
even
not
shown
gonna matter.
Julie hasn't even shown any berries on the board yet, though. Ad doesn't know that Julie's getting berries.
Yeah, that's true. But I think if you've won all 3 of those objectives in the early game, you can either assume that you're ahead or that your opponent is doing something you're not.
I guess it is just safer to assume your opponent is doing something or not. Because, like, if you are just ahead because they've played badly, that means you already have an advantage anyway. And it's usually better to play around the circumstance where you are disadvantaged because your opponent is actually...
Julie does recover the seeded.
Nice. Yeah, Julie's going to presumably win 3-seeded here. I don't see Ad winning 3-seeded.
No, you don't win 3-seeded if you play 4A or 3A. You do win it if you play 4A and your opponent plays 3.
Yeah. Really got the corner kick nice. Didn't save any time with it, but whatever.
Ad does like playing an entire game of bingo with the board directly in front of Madeline.
Oh, I used to do that a lot when I was newer to bingo. Like, at one point, my 1A PB had the board on the screen for the entire thing.
Yeah, this is just something Ad does, so, like...
Like, I think you should remove the bingo board from the bottom middle of the screen and we just use Ad's one for the entire rest of the game.
Because who needs to, like, see where Madeline is anyway, right?
Yeah! As I was saying earlier, if you don't know where your opponent is, it's usually safer to assume that they're doing something, like, just getting progress towards something, rather than you're locking them out. Because if you're locking them out, you're advantaged already, and you don't really want to play around the situation where you're advantaged if there's a situation where you're less advantaged. But at here, you want to be assuming that Julie is doing something, and you're not just locking her out.
Like, it might be the case that Ad has won all of these things by being slightly faster. It might just be the case that Julie is doing berries, which is what is happening, right?
I mean, I'm not quite sure how many berries Julie's been getting, but yes. I haven't really been
Julie going for Block Ultra?
Oh.
Julie going for Ride the Block? Julie going for Block Hyper? Julie not extending the dash. Oh, you hate to see it. Sometimes you just death loop in these rooms.
At this point, I would just go and hit the coin and just ride the block all the way, but I'm not quite sure how comfortable Julie is with actually going and hitting the coin with these binds. Oh, okay.
I mean, there's your answer, right?
I'm pretty sure it is faster to go and hit the coin anyway than it is to do the strat that Julie was doing a minute ago. Not Block Hyper, the other one. Not Block Ultra, the other one. Block Hyper. So if you hit the coin, it makes sense you can put the block low and then do a super from further back. Although I might be wrong. Someone in chat probably just like knows more about this than me. Is that hyper faster than hitting the coin and then doing the hyper from slightly further back? Really?
I think it is. Okay. Julie is...
I'm not saying block hyper is faster than binding the block. I'm saying block hyper without the coin is faster than block hyper is slower than block hyper with the coin.
Julie is a decent amount of the way into Cliff Face right now. Ad ticks off the mess order. Julie's bouncing on snowballs. Are we gonna see... I assume we see a delay with this here, right? Because with the mess order tick, you know that you're not contested to this. So you can leave ticking snowballs for a good few minutes, probably like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Whether or not Julie will want to delay it, though, is another question.
It does look like Julie is delaying, so that's good.
It's good.
Hello, smile. Right, so what do we see after these chapters? So Julie still hasn't done 1-up in 2 yet. I didn't see if that was because she went for it and dropped it, or because she just didn't go for it. But I'm imagining we
go for
see
four,
one up
one
at
up.
some point.
Yeah, she didn't go for 4 1 up, I don't think, unless she dropped it very early. She definitely didn't have it in the secondary room. Or third berry room, sorry. Right, so what can Julie win here? Julie wins 3-seeded, Julie probably wins key and depths. And then after that, what do you do as Julie?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because there's not really a lot of late game on this board, and everything
Even
that
though
is
late
late
game will
game on
do
this
the
board is
berries.
really long.
I mean, 5 Bino Summit's quite fast, but everything else is terrible.
You've got Reflection A side. You've got Grabless Rock Bottom, which I guess does synergize with that, but
Yeah,
you're gonna be there a while going for that. And then
2,000 meters 7B. And then you've got Snowball's Tick.
okay,
Probably
that
slightly early, but
Snowball's
it's fine.
Tick is very early. But also, yeah, I guess as ad, you now know not to try and pull a ridge skip. Because that's something that I would be thinking about on this board, probably.
Ad hasn't ticked anything since Mess. How long has it been since the Mess tick? Hold on. Check. It's been about 2.5 minutes since Ad ticked the Mess thing, and then Julie ticked Snowballs. Which is an under delay, yeah. Probably should have been delayed for at least another minute.
Yeah. Monster trying to figure out what to go for on a bingo board is not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of trial and error initially, just like figuring out what's good at any given point and what isn't. And it is a skill. It's a real skill.
I think the more bingo games I play, the worse I get at reading the board.
That's fair.
I think the main reason I've got worse at reading boards, though, is because my exec's improved, which means I now root around having an exec advantage, which means then when I don't play well, I just lose.
The thing that's crazy about this match is that, like, if I didn't know that this was control swap, I'd just assume that this was, like, a beginner game, or, like, a low intermediate game.
Wait, this is control swap? I thought this was a beginner game, or a low intermediate game. Like, I had genuinely
both of these
forgotten
players
this
are
was
playing
control swap.
very well.
I had genuinely forgotten this was control swap until you said.
Like, you wouldn't know that these players were playing on unfamiliar controls right now.
Right, so are we going to see a 5B?
Surely we see a 5A, right?
I think I prefer 5A here because we have Grappler Search on the board and it's not
You
like
have
5B is
Grappler
gonna be
Search
any
and
faster
Depth
anyway.
Key. And, like, you can grab Mirror Temple Blue on the way to Unraveling
has
as a
Depth
blue
Key
heart
already,
for
but-
core.
Yeah, Julie picked up Depth's key already, that's what the key behind them is.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5A blue as a blue heart for core is something I didn't really consider, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
Oh, there's also Reflection Blue. I didn't even notice Reflection Blue. Yeah, late game's slightly stronger than I thought it was, because you've got, like, Reflection Blue, 5 Binos in Summit, and 20 Berry 7A, all of which aren't terrible.
late game is strong,
the
but it's
text.
all, like, everything is really long. Like, you have to commit some time to get anything in the
Oh, yeah,
late
no,
game on this board.
You definitely have to commit to it, but there is a fair bit of stuff there. I think here is Julie. You get the blue heart. You unlock unraveling, and then you go to test berries.
We have Event Horizon, we have 7B, and we have 6A.
Oh, not going for the blue heart. Interesting. I mean, it makes sense. But the thing is, a lot of the really long ones you said have synergy on this board because you've got like 3 keys power source. You've got Grabless Rock Bottom, and you've also got 20 Berry 7A, which takes you up to the cassette.
Yeah.
Like, although they're long, there's like things that work up to them, so they're not quite as undesirable as they would be on some boards.
But it's still a big commitment, because if someone's going for that and then you're racing and you get locked out, you get locked out of a lot. If you ever get locked out here. It's not like some boards where you can get things that are quite scattered. It's like, it is a case of if you lose one thing, you lose the other one.
Yeah. Like on the flip side, if like one person ticks one of them, you then know they're there, which means you can then start working towards another one.
But like, the flip side to that is, what if someone tries to mind game you?
Yes, and then you have mind games, which are always fun.
And you never know until the objective gets ticked. So, yeah. On what Monster said about their game, I think something that newer players in particular tend to do a lot in Bingo is, exactly what you said. Hyperfixate on one thing and, like, ignore the rest. And that's very easy to do, especially if you've not been playing Bingo for a while. So, like, if you look at this board for an example, right, you've got a lot of berry stuff. But the thing you have to consider is, like, if I go for berries, like, what do I give up? And so here you've got a lot of relatively fast, progressy things that if you'd gone for the berries, you just never win.
Yeah.
Like,
so, yeah,
you see,
like
Julie went for the
progress,
1-up and lost all of the stuff in 2A.
Yeah, I do like rushing the progress stuff here, but at some point you do need to go back and go for the berry objectives if you want to win them. I think we're getting to that point now. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I see Julie quit out at rescue and go berries.
The thing that is interesting about berries in particular is that you are either ahead to berries or behind. And it's not like, say, objectives like complete, reach library in 3B or like complete 2B or something like that, where if you've not done it, you can go back and get that reasonably easily. But the thing is, if you're behind to a big berry objective and your opponent keeps getting berries, like, you're never winning that. So it's really hard to commit to doing berry stuff if you don't know you're ahead. Because it takes so long. It takes so long.
Julie's getting keys. Oh no.
Oh dear. I get this though, like, search skip is hard, especially if you've not practiced it. Yeah, it's grabless as well, which doesn't help, because, like, you have to do a tight neutral at the end. Ad is going for lake skip. Hits lake skip.
Oh my gosh, Lake
Hits
Skip!
Lake Skip on controller, no less, which is not the input method she usually uses.
So Julie's in a bit of a predicament here now. Like, you need to open the door, Julie. Yeah. There's a key up here somewhere. Go get the key and open the door.
Here's the thing about Julie's situation, though. If Ad keeps playing Reflection and Julie goes into Summit, this isn't that bad for Julie.
That is true, actually, yeah.
And I think Julie has been getting berries and so has an incentive to go to Summit because 15 in 3 goes quite nicely with 20 in 7A, which goes quite
I haven't
nicely
seen
with
Julie get
Summit
that many
Cassette.
berries. I've really not seen that many berries. Maybe.
Ad with the cheat sheet for 6A Blue, you love to see it.
I don't think I've ever seen that cheat sheet before. It's not part of clients. I think it's part of clients, right?
That is in Bingo Client, yes.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing that when I used client. Huh. That's cool.
Okay, Ad quits out of 6A, which I like. I think Summit is a lot stronger here.
After this less than ideal grappler search, I think it's even more important that Julie quits out rescue. Like, Julie does not win much at all by going late game here, I don't think. I feel it's much more worthwhile to go, like, berries or, like, even power source keys or Pico or something.
Pico would require playing a decent amount of 3A.
I don't hate that if you're getting 15 berries there, though.
Ad having a moment trying to figure out if she needs the gem and then realizing she doesn't. I respect it though. If you're never quite sure if you want the gem, especially in 0 meters, like, sometimes it's better to just grab it and then figure out what you want to do later.
Yeah, I quite often just grab 0 meters gem.
Because it's not
Like, it
really that far out of your way, but if you have to come back for it, that's an entire checkpoint you have to replay.
Yeah, like, even if it is one of the shortest checkpoints in the game at, like, 40 seconds, that is still 40 seconds you could spend doing anything else.
Julie
And
is on the one slightly difficult room in Grabless Search, gets it reasonably cleanly.
Julie is deciding what to do here.
Julie is ticking the objective.
Grabless?
Julie is disabling Grabless. Julie is playing Rescue. Okay.
I'm not sure how I feel about this, to be honest.
I guess how good this is or bad this is for Julie depends on how much Summit Ad commits to right here. Because Julie can afford to do a little bit.
Julie doesn't really lose much by playing this because of what Ad's doing, but I guess it's just less of a lead towards the berry objectives. Which I think is what this is going to come down to in the end. It's going to come down to whether Julie wins the berry objectives or not, as to whether she can stay in the game.
I think this could still go either way. It's looking distinctly Ad favoured right now.
I feel if Julie wins 15 and 3, 15 and 4 and Depth Zarb, it could easily go towards Julie here.
Okay. Ad quits out a summit, which I like, I think. Yeah. You don't need to commit to 20 berries right now. Like, locking down things like Pico is a big deal. Because you know that your opponent just did Grabless Search, but like, in my... Oh, good Seeker kill! Good Seeker kill! That is not an easy Seeker kill to get if you're trying to get it.
That's a really annoying one to get deliberately, because there's 2 Seekers in that room, and the other one could come and annoy you while you're trying to kill one.
Oh, it doesn't quite get the other one, though.
Yo does not want to cooperate.
Pico carrots! We have Pico carrots!
We have Pico carrots! I did not know that! How long has there been Pico carrots for?
I mean, I knew there were Pico carrots, but it's still cool to see.
There's always been Pico carrots?
There have always been Pico carrots, yeah.
I did not know that there were Pico carrots.
Winged carrot.
Clean, albeit somewhat slow eyeball boom.
Okay. Julie finishing up 5A. We'll see where she goes after this. Adit looks like is going 2A, which... Is this a 2A full clear play? It looks like it is, because Ad is getting the heart.
Unless of course this is a
one-up. Oh, Julie's going as well! Is this a race?
This might be a 1-up. I think this is a 1-up from Julie.
Okay. Yeah, 1-up from Julie makes sense. You've had a bit of time to get more familiar with your controls, and so you can just... you can be more confident in it now, I think. Oh, but Julie is... Okay, Julie, for some reason, is not getting that berry.
Julie goes and makes the seeded berry into the berry first before starting the 1-up.
Okay, that makes sense. Ad is going for a 1-up as well, but Ad doesn't have another 1-up, so if Ad gets...
And then presumably ends with the berries down in the room that Julie passed through previously. And it turns purple.
It turns purple.
Now, Julie, do you go to a full clear, or... Oh, okay.
I think Ad does, though, because she got the blue heart.
Oh yeah, no, Ad's absolutely going to a full clear here.
The question is, what is Julie gonna do? Because this could make or break Julie's game, this decision right here.
I think I'd rather see Depth Sarb into berries here, but...
Okay. This is probably just a play for power source keys, which I don't hate. But it's like...
It's too slow right now.
I think you are committing too much time for this. I understand why you're going for this, but I think this is too soon.
It is.
And with Ad going for 2A full clear... With Ad going for 2A full clear, you know that she's gonna be eyeing up those berry synergies in a minute as well. Always has been.
Oh, me, it's Pico Carrots. Epic always has been. Amazing. I just saw that.
Yeah. What Reed said in the chat, source keys isn't amazing right now, but it's good in the sense that if it comes down to an Event Horizon race, and Julie has Remembered unlocked, then it could be very big for Julie. to win that.
Or even if, like, Ad just tries to snipe Event Horizon from Julie to, like, win an objective. Because it's not like Julie's going to be contesting 7B or anything right now.
Julie does have late game access now, though, so that's something that's very important to remember. So, like, suddenly things like Reflection A side, yes, it's long, but it's not safe anymore.
That is true, yeah.
Like, you don't assume Julie's gonna go for Reflection A side, but it might be that Julie decides to go for Reflection A side, and if that happens...
Like... Creeps just brought up DTS. Do you think either of these players know how to do DTS on their new control scheme?
Who knows?
I don't know how to do DTS on my normal control scheme.
Knowing Ad will try DTS at least once.
If anyone says it's like a feel-based strat, I always think of Matt's pinned comment in wherever it is in ZCom. It's like, it's a feel-based strat, because when you hit it, you feel based. But yeah, no, DTS is kind of just like, you get a feel for it eventually, and then you can kind of just do it. Is that Metas? I'm sorry, I thought it was Maths. Hold on.
Okay, Ad ticking off to a full clear.
Ad ticks off to a full clear. It's going to be interesting to see what Julie does in response to that. Does Julie quit out Power Source and go do something else for a bit, or are we going to go all the way with Power Source keys? Oh, was Math posting a screenshot of Meta's comment? Oh, okay.
That would indeed bring a whole new meaning to the term balanced bingo match, Mushroom.
Oh my gosh. We're back to coming up with stupid control schemes, aren't we? Okay, what's about playing Celeste with one button, but it changes what it actually does based on how hard you press the button?
As an analog player, that sounds like pain. Okay, Ad is going for a blue heart, which I guess means she's eyeing up core. Still hasn't ticked Pico Berries, interestingly. So we'll see if that comes back to bite her later if Julie tries to snipe them. It probably won't, because Julie's gonna tick Power Source keys in a minute, and then Ad will know that it's safe, but...
Has she just forgotten, or is she deliberately delaying it, though? Because that seems like we have an odd objective to delay here.
I think you have been waiting too long for it to be a safe delay at this point. I think delaying it initially was fine. The problem is, with not knowing what Julie's doing, because Julie has spent, what, 5 minutes in Farewell so far? Which is more than long enough that you could have got all the way to Mess, played Pico, and been done with that objective.
It's been like 7 minutes since Julie's last tick.
That is so based, flying.
He only seems to have lost the jelly and power source. That's unfortunate. I wasn't looking, so I didn't see it happen, but and Ad's about to get the switch. Go.
Yeah, Adtic switch to ice. Goes into farewell, okay.
Oh, this
A lot
could be a
hinges
major
on
lockout,
whether
depending
Julie
on-
delays this objective, and by how much.
Yeah.
Because I think
That's
Julie
now at
can afford
9.
to delay. Ad is trying DTS, by the way.
Oh. Okay, Ad gets the float. Oh,
Oh,
and
no,
ticks
Julie.
Pico
Okay.
Berries. And dies, which is unfortunate.
Oh no. Okay. We do see a 1- continuation though, which I think is sensible.
Hmm.
I think Ad is familiar enough with 1- farewell that this isn't a huge setback.
Yeah. Okay, that is a very good question, Math. When are we getting the dance pad versus steering wheel control swap face-off? And that reminds me of a dream I had a while back. I was for some reason playing 7C on a dance pad and Isaac Tay was there watching me.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was an odd dream. I'd completely forgotten about that until now.
Shoutouts to the GDQ stream where someone actually played all C-sides on a dance pad. Yes, that's a thing that exists.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's great.
No, I don't have a link, but you can look it up if you want to find it. I don't remember who it was, but someone at GDQ played all C-sides on a dance pad.
I was Julie, how I'd like you to. I'd like to at least see you delay these keys until you get into remembered.
Yeah.
So that way you're not behind into whatever you decide to do next.
Assuming Julie does decide to continue, which I think she will.
I think unlocking remembered here is just what you want to do.
This is potentially going to be a big lockout, though.
Hmm.
Depending on, like, if Julie delays this, and for how long Julie delays this, this could be a very big lockout.
Hmm. Like, Julie looking out here is good. I don't think it. Oh. Julie ticks it.
Okay, yeah, that's a tick. That's not great, because now Ad can just play Summit. Oh, but does RTM? So, like, they both RTM at the same time.
I don't hate taking it immediately for going to RTM here.
Oh, they're both hovering Reflection.
Reflection race? Depth Spurs? Does he? No. Reflection race.
Reflection race? Except
Reflection
Julie
race,
isn't.
but Ad has a minute head start. Oh no.
Julie's in Hollows and Ad is in.
This
No,
could
Ad is
be
in Hollows and
other way
Julie is
around.
in Start.
This could be huge if Ad decides to multitask. I don't think she will here.
But, like, even if Ad does decide to multitask, what's Julie gonna do?
Wait, does Ad have a win con? I don't think Ad has a win con right now. If Ad wins one more objective, she does, though. Honestly, at this point, I feel the berry objectives are just being mind gamed because both players assume the other one would have gone berries by now and therefore isn't going berries.
The classic.
Yeah.
it's worth pointing out that, like, although we say the tick was not great for Julie, I think with the amount of time it took Julie to get that third key, it's fairly reasonable to assume that Ad could have caught up.
That is true, yeah.
And so if you think that, then, like, maybe you bank on the fact that you tick it and Ad will just, like, continue to unlock Remembered.
Hmm. Oh, we're having a bit of issue with the Kevin.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Ad has a win con in 3B.
Wait. Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, if I'd win 6A, then she could just play either 3B or 7B and just win. But yeah, 3B is more safe here because you know Julie hasn't played that far into 3A. There's no reason to play that far into 3A.
Yeah, figuring out where your opponent is with berries is hard. And figuring out when to go for berries is hard. Because, like, there is a good amount of berry synergy, but it takes so long that if you commit to it and you're behind to it, you've just lost. So it's hard to make that commitment if you don't know for sure that you're ahead.
Yeah. I'm also never really sure when to go for berries. Berries are weird objectives on the bingo board. I never used to go for them at all until recently when I decided to actually learn ARB for Summer of ARB.
Julie is having a moment in that room, getting pinball bumpered all over the place.
I was waiting for someone to make that joke.
I intentionally didn't say pinball purgatory. I thought pinball purgatory, though.
Yeah, I think we all thought pinball purgatory.
Yeah, I said it now. I didn't say it at the time. I was waiting for someone else to say it.
I was also waiting for someone else to say
Pinball purgatory.
Yeah, pinball purgatory. Anyway, progress update. Julie is entering Reflection, as in Reflection the checkpoint, not Reflection the chapter, and Reflection the 6A checkpoint rather than Reflection the 6B checkpoint. And Ad is in Rock Bottom, the 6A checkpoint, not the 6B checkpoint.
Grabless Rock
does have
Bottom is a
Grabless.
checkpoint we don't normally get to see in Bingo, though, because usually matches have ended by the time that this is ever relevant.
Or people just do it in 6B. It's not often you see 6A Rock Bottom Grabless.
As Reed so accurately wrote in their Celeste Bingo fanfiction that they were sharing with me earlier today, we don't do we don't do chapter 6 in Bingo. Yes, Reed. It's a shame we don't do 6A in Bingo, because Chapter 6 is actually genuinely one of the most fun chapters.
The 6A battle and fight is so satisfying to play well.
It's
Like,
just
it's
that there's
actually
not a
one of my
lot
favourite
here,
chapters
so it's
to
kind of
play.
hard to synergize it with anything.
Bring back jumpless resolution, so true.
No.
Does anyone know if Jump plus 1A start is still on the generator? I genuinely have no idea if that still exists.
I'm fairly certain Jump plus 1A start got removed.
I think it got removed as well, but I also thought 5000 V got removed. That seems to still be there, so... I don't know.
I think 20 berries got removed.
Only thing I know is being removed. I thought it had been removed, but I know it seems to still be there right now.
I know there was a lot of talk about removing it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That they both still exist. But I think I thought I don't know, they're going to be removed at some point, almost certainly.
As far as I'm aware, Bullet, there are no plans to change the generator before Advanced Bash. It may well happen before Expert, though. I'm also not the person to, like, talk to about that, because I am not the person who is in charge of that. Ad is now into not retrieve.
Imagine you say that only 4 experts exist, but whenever Bingo Bash is announced, like 10 more just spawn out of nowhere.
Yeah, we usually... I'm imagining that the moment Expert Bash gets announced, we're gonna have about 15 people who haven't played Bingo in ages just sign up. Especially because with Advanced only being 8 people this time around, like, there are a lot of people who might end up playing an Expert anyway. That's not for a while though, so...
Julie seems to still be on this feather room. Interesting.
It's hard, okay? Feather on keyboard is hard if you're used to analog.
Oh, I guess that's true, yeah. Julie is the analog to keyboard player. Somebody's up in mind that she was the keyboard to analog player.
Whereas Ad has the nice feather, because Ad is now playing analog. Okay, Grabless Rock Bottom gets ticked by Ad, which is no surprise, but it's a pretty big deal for Julie. Because you've just invested 9 minutes into Chapter 6 only to not get an objective from it.
Oh, Julie quits out. I think this is just Ad's game now, unless Ad decides to play for content and throw long enough for Julie to somehow win. But the safe player's Ad is 3B. Yeah.
Yeah.
3B makes sense.
Because you know there's no way Julie was ever here, so...
Yeah. Like, the closest Julie was ever going to get to this is if they got, like, locked out of Pico, but that's still only just mess unlocked and nothing further.
This is extremely clean gameplay from both of these players, though. Considering they've been playing with these control schemes for, like, a few days.
You say this, but Julie has died, like, 5 times in this room.
Keyboard
I believe in you,
moment.
Julie, you can do this. Nice.
Yes. Okay, gets the
Yay.
berry.
I'm having a bit of a moment in this Phoebe room, but it doesn't really matter, honestly. There's nothing Julie can do. Like, Anne could take a whole 20 minutes in this Phoebe, and it'll still be fine.
I don't know
I mean,
about
other than
20
might end up behind
minutes.
schedule rather than ahead. I don't know, Julie's still got like 20 berries and 7A to do, and Reach Event Horizon to do, and then probably 7B to do before she even considers playing Phoebe.
Yeah, but hypothetically though, if Julie was like, I want to do something really random, she could get here a lot quicker than 20 minutes.
Hmm.
I know Julie's in Summit and will be in Summit for a while, probably, but
Oh,
like...
there's only 13 minutes left on the timer, apparently. I forgot
Oh.
there was a hard cap of 70 minutes on these games.
Well, we're not gonna hit that probably, because Ad is about to be in library.
It's not Reach Library, it's Result B-side.
No, but like, there's only one more thing after that. You're like halfway through at this point.
I guess so, yeah. The other way she's going, Ad's absolutely going to do this before 20 minutes have gone by.
Ad's gonna have like a faster 3B than me, and I play controller.
This is faster than my 3B sometimes.
Oh, it does nearly take a death at the end there, but gets through.
Meanwhile, Julie is still picking up berries. I really felt like there's a whole lot to commentate right now. It's kind of just, we're waiting for the players to finish what they're doing, and then, yeah. Give us something to talk about while these players finish what they're doing.
Oh. Yeah, I am very impressed, particularly with Ad and like the level of execution we're seeing here. This is very clean.
Oh yeah, what showcase are we going to be doing tomorrow between the semi-finals and finals?
There's a showcase tomorrow? I don't know.
Yeah, supposedly there's a showcase tomorrow to give the players time to learn their binds before they get thrown straight into the finals.
This is news to me.
Although, I'm not sure if that's happening for certain or if that's just speculation.
I don't know, is the honest answer. Ask Creep. To be determined, okay.
First room is a bit... If I had to play on an opposite controller scheme, what B-sides would I avoid at all costs? 8B. I avoid at all costs as is.
8B's fun though.
It is fun, I just don't know how to play it.
It's a tragedy that it isn't in bingo because you need 15 hearts to enter it.
FVB is probably concerning anyway, this is GG.
Yeah,
I
GG.
feel I wouldn't mind playing 6B because I get to play 6B on controller, which means I get good feathers.
4B is the one I would avoid personally, but that's just because I avoid 4B anyway. GG both these
Yeah,
players.
I feel out of the bingo B-sides, it would either be 3B or 7B I would avoid. Anyway, who's up next? Sam and Salt.
Yep. And on that note, I am gonna be getting off comms. I believe Cookie is staying on comms for this next
I'm
one.
staying with Reed, I believe.
And I am being replaced by Lightning Reed, so that should be fun for everybody.
Yes, Waveflash.ppt is playing.
Based music. Anyway, yeah. Hope you all
GG
enjoy.
players.
the next couple of games, and I will leave you with Reed and Cookie.
Alright, hello people. Because we are slightly ahead of schedule, it will take a little bit of time for the next two players, which are Satellite Sam and Salt, to get ready. Until then, I suppose we can talk a bit about these two players, a bit about their strengths and skills, and a bit about the control schemes they'll be using today. Cookie,
Both of them seem to be playing with movement on the left hand and other controls like dashing and jumping on the right hand.
yeah, they're. Alright, let's take a close look at the binds here. Salt plays with WASD for movement generally. Meanwhile, Satellite Sam close plays with ESDF on an American keyboard. That is just one tile beside, so no big differences there. The
Presumably
jump.
that's done just so you can fit more binds around it, like A and Q playing with ESDF are then opened up for like stuff further to the left than you normally would be able to access.
Yeah. The other binds, jump, dash, grab, the three most important binds, are slightly different. Salt likes having them all in a low. Jump on U with the index finger, dash on I with the middle finger, grab on O with the ring finger, all of the right hand. Meanwhile, Satellite Sam has jump on K and L, dash on J, and grab on space. I'm sorry. Okay.
So it seems to be the main difference here seems to be the location of the grab button. With Salt, it's going to be one of either the second, third, or fourth fingers, where Sam hits it with his thumb.
Yeah, I mean, another
Even
thing
that
to
was a
note.
very awkward hand position I couldn't imagine playing Celeste with.
Yeah, so arrow keys are going to be mostly the same, but movement controls, but jump, dash, grab are all very different. Dashing is in a completely different spot. Jumping and dashing are actually oriented the opposite way. Salt's jump key is to the left of his dash keys, so hypers go left across the keyboard. And Sam's jump key is to the right, so hypers go right across the keyboard. That's oftentimes a big deal if you're used to rolling hypers or rolling wall bounces a certain way. So these are relatively close binds, but I don't think we're going to be seeing like super well adapted gameplay here.
Yeah, that's what I'm gathering from this as well. How do the menu binds differ? I haven't looked at those yet.
Let's
Those
see.
are very different.
Talk is on the same key for both players, just one up and to the right, but just above their right arrow key. Demo.
Things like confirm and back are very different.
Yeah, the pause button is a little bit
The down
different.
confirm binds are about halfway across the keyboard from each other, though.
Yeah, let's look at quick retry binds on these two players. Down confirm, pause down confirm for Salt is E. Salt playing WSD.
For Sam.
And then it's WN for Sam? What? In order to quick retry, you have to press WN? What? I'm sorry.
Interesting.
Okay. That's...
It appears there's a fair bit to get used to here as the other player.
Yeah, this...
like, at first glance, these are similar binds. The more you look at it, the more they're different, just like subtly.
I think the binds being close to similar makes it worse. Because if you're playing on a totally different control scheme, it's like, it's totally different. But if they're close to similar, then you might accidentally slip and try to use your own muscle memory and just have it, like, not work. Which is a little bit painful.
Salt seems to have 2 grab buttons.
That's not incredibly uncommon. Some players just have 2 clap buttons for specific tricks. I don't really know what
The
tricks, but
question mark seems a bit out of the way compared to the other ones, but I guess you can hit it with your little finger.
if Salt is playing with U, I, and O as his 3 right hand, the 3 bingo fingers on his right hand, and a second jump button as space, then question mark is like a very natural place for the pinky.
I think I'd probably rather have it 1 key above that, but I can see that.
Yeah, it depends. Depends on how you hold your hand. Regardless, with regards to Satellite Sam and Salt, in terms of just like players of bingo, these two are both pretty well matched in terms of just bingo skill, both being about advanced players.
I thought Salt was a beginner.
Both of them being about advanced players, Salt having iconically gone from beginner to advanced over the course of just like a couple months, which is insane. But regardless, these two players are reasonably evenly matched. Salt is a little bit faster in a vacuum, but of course that means very little with swapped binds. Meanwhile, Satellite Sam, I would say, is a little bit better at routing in a vacuum, and we might see that help him out or not. Who knows?
I don't really feel like normal routing or exec really help here, because routing's often influenced by how long you think things are going to take, which you have no idea. And
Yeah,
exec obviously doesn't help because you're not playing it the way you normally would, so your muscle memory doesn't exist.
yeah,
What you really have
it's
is game
definitely
knowledge,
tough.
and that doesn't really help if you can't actually execute the strats.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I don't know how much these players have practiced beforehand with their opponent's binds. I'm hoping they've put a little bit of time in, but
Anyway, we seem to have a bingo board now,
oh, we do. Huh.
and both
Yeah.
players have revealed.
We have Madeline versus Madeline, but the other way.
Amazing. Why isn't the bingo board symmetrical? The bingo board also should have been symmetrical. Like, make the middle of the stream a mirror.
The format's close to a mirror, we'll have to call that good enough. With that, Salt has begun playing. Sam appears to have a little bit more stream delay. But the players are off. What do you see on the board, Cookie?
I'm seeing like a fair few fastish progress things here that like don't deviate too much from any percent or adjacent categories. Being things like Rich Blue, 1-up in 5A, Awake Poem, Seek a Kill, 2A Cassette.
You know,
but there's
this
also
board
a fair
is
few other things here. Like
so
Temple B or 2B or 7B with binoculars.
yeah.
As well as
This board has a frankly frightening amount of fast objectives. There is odd site cassette into odd site B side, which works well with 7 binos, 5 cassettes, and 3A3 B sides. If you don't do that, there's poem in 2A. Regardless, you get Lidge Blueheart, which is fast. 1-up in 5A is fast. Killer Seeker is fast. Mila Tempo B side is fast. Hit a Kevin block from all 4 sides is fast. Whoever stays ahead in this game is gonna win. So I really hope these players practiced. Solid appears to hesitate on the menu for a moment.
There's something happening in Bingo Sync chat right now.
Alright.
It looks like we're restarting, possibly. Not sure if we're getting a
Okay.
new board or whether we're just restarting just to sync the players.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see. We had a bit of an issue with the first start. That was not just stream delay that happened. These players unfortunately didn't start at the right time, so we're having a quick restart, I think. Are we? No? No, we're just going back into 1A. That's fine.
I think it's
Yeah,
just
and you can
stream delay.
see. Yeah, you can see the stream delay is much less. Well, no, it's still about 10 seconds. Never mind.
Yeah, so just have to pretend Sam's 10 seconds ahead of where he actually is.
Yep.
Hmm.
Well, regardless, oh my god, what is this? Why are both players so good at that? What the? Are they even playing on reversed binds? I'm sorry, what? Salt is just playing normally. Excuse me?
This is our first. I guess this is our first pair of players who have the same movement binds, or close enough to same movement binds.
Yeah, are you looking at this on Salt's screen? He's just doing all the normal strats. He's just hypering and hyper. What? I hope the rest of you guys in chat can see how absurd this is. Oh my god.
I was too busy looking at Sam's stream, which is also like pretty good exec. But what the hell is happening on Salt's screen?
Oh my god. Isn't gonna go for the fast strat at the end of City.
This is
a
solidly
120
high
City.
intermediate level. This is like solid intermediate levels of gameplay right here. This is not beginner. These are
What?
intermediate players.
Yeah, this is an intermediate execution. I've seen some advanced players play like this. Oh my god. Sam is going to be trying to go up this left side here. Might save a couple of seconds on Salt, but... Oh my god. Well, we talked about how the person who stayed ahead might be able to wipe this board clean. If Salt can keep up this pace of gameplay, might be tough for Sam to stay in this.
Salt does have sub 30, yeah, but I don't know how much that helps here, because like knowing faster strats isn't necessarily better in this. As was shown with Creep earlier.
What? Let's take a set, turns teal? What? Salt gets the objective on our screen. But 10 seconds of stream delay? Sam's timer was at about 24 seconds. If he hits this before 34 seconds... Does he? Oh, that had to have been so close. That had to have been less than a second. I'm sorry, what?
I just assumed it was Salt's objective. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Salt, we'll see, I'll just count to 10 as he gets into intervention here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, Sam is like 3 seconds ahead.
Ah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, tough spot to be in as Salt now, but...
I think Salt can keep up with Sam here, to be honest. Like, yeah, Sam's ahead right now, but just like Sam going for one Seeker kill or just one anything means Salt's then ahead.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. These two players are neck and neck on a really tight bingo board. I can't ask for more content than this. Who's gonna get Poem and Awake? Which, by the way...
I'm not watching the bingo board now. I'm not even watching the players. I'm just watching the bingo board so I can see when it changes colour.
I think Sam is slightly ahead to Poem and Awake, but it's a common strategy, especially at this level, to skip Poem and Awake just because it takes a long time to do.
Teal.
Does turn teal. Alright, we'll have to look at Salt's screen. Did he also go for it? No.
Salt
just
did not go for it.
Land past it. That's good for him. He's ahead to Gordon Lidge Blue Hat and potentially the Mila Temple stuff. Oh, I guess we didn't talk about what chapter to assist skip. You skipped Liai. You always skip Liai.
I mean, you could make an argument for playing it with 3A Start Grabblers, 4 Theos, and Sweetheart on this board, but yeah, no, I think we just skip it here.
There's also Shaftab. Oh, well...
And Salt plays Liai.
Okay,
and Salt's stream dies, but... we're just going to, like, pretend we know which chapter Sam's going to skip.
Yeah. Hey, we get a couple minutes from Salt's perspective here. As Salt enters this chapter, he doesn't know where Sam is. We don't know where Sam is either. It's just realistic stream. Oh, just kidding. We know
And
exactly where Sam
in
is.
4A. I think this is good for Sam.
Yeah, I think it is. He's gonna get a lot of these
Sam
objectives
here, you just, like-
uncontested.
Sam here, you just clean out 4A, you clean out 5A, and then that game is just undesirable for Salt.
Can't totally see Salt's screen here, but I don't see the Glabless variant indicator in the top left. Is he playing Glabless?
I haven't seen a grab, but
Oh
I
yeah,
also
he's
don't see the
definitely trying to play Glabless. Does he have the variant on?
Maybe he just can't find the binds to open the menu.
Oh, can you imagine?
I mean, he seemed to have just skipped the Ashiro cutscene fine, but...
Sam
I
getting the
don't
cassette
know
on the other
what
side.
Sam's menuing binds are. Interesting call this one for Salt.
Sam getting the cassette on the other side is going to be in a good position for 5 cassettes later, as well as 7 binos.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure how much I like 4B for binos here with like 2B, 5B, and 7B on the board, but
7B?
there's a 7B on this board, yeah, B1.
I'm sure that won't be relevant.
Surely that won't be relevant.
Alright, we do see Lidge Bluehead and Glabless Sedentary ticked off at the same time. That's so unfortunate for Salt. If that Lidge Bluehead had come just a second later, Salt would have been able to delay his tick, but it didn't.
Yeah.
And so both players now know where their opponent is.
Which is not great for Salt here. It means Sam can just safely delay a lot of his stuff, which means then Sam has the objective and information advantage.
It does.
As well as the progress speed.
Let's talk about how this board is going to look a couple minutes from now. Sam's going to stay ahead, is going to get the 3 things in Mila Temple alongside 7
Assuming he can
binos.
1-up. Looking at this exec, 1-up in 5A seems fine.
Oh yeah. The 1-up in 5A, I mean, these two look like intermediate players. They should absolutely be able to do that. But I think Sam will get the 3 things just playing out 5B, be advantage to 3A, 3B, and 5 cassettes and 7 binos. That puts him at potentially up to 9 objectives.
Oh.
If he also stays ahead to Reflection, that puts him at potentially 11 objectives.
And Salt would win Berries and Shaft. Salt would win Berries and Sweet.
It's kind of...
Would win probably Pico Berries.
I mean, he'd be
Then what
advantage
else
to
do you do
Pico
with
Berries
Salt?
and for Theo. I think Assault you just
For
have to
Theo,
like...
yeah.
I think Assault you have to play out 4A. Maybe try and contest 45 Baileys, and 4 Blue Hats, and then stay ahead into Reflection somehow. I don't know. It's a lot, but I guess you also
Either
work
that or you
for
just like
Psyche's
get enough
here.
stuff and hope to soul read Sam for long enough to just get back in the game.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough.
That's sort of how I think you just like need to get as many objectives as you have available to you. Just so that way Salt can't win con very easily off anything.
Believable. Some nice chill gameplay from these two players at this point. Both of them knowing
We're talking
that
about
they're
win
not.
cons and it's 1-3.
I think both of them understand that for the short, immediate future, they can get objectives uncontested, and so hopefully their gameplay should be a little more relaxed.
It would be quite funny if Sam did what I did that one time and Tick Ridge Blue or similar objective and then just go back into PA and snipe everything.
No. Why? You've seen the Rebel started play attack. Oh, this is kind of unfortunate looking at Celeste screen. He's not having the best 3A. I think even if he plays Foray in a vacuum, he's behind to Reflection here, which is definitely not good. Eyes on Sam here, no 1-up. It's not going to go for that objective. I think that's a reasonable
fair.
decision.
1-ups are hard, if you don't know what you're doing, at least. And even if you do know what you're doing and have weird binds, they're hard.
I mean, if you look at it from Sam's perspective, what does the 1-up get you? It gets you potentially one objective, but whether or not you get it, you're still in a good position. What is the objective? What does the 1-up potentially lose you? It potentially loses you 40 seconds for no good reason.
That is
So-
true, yeah. Like, if you die with the 1-up, that's just bad. If you collect the 1-up before you reach 6 berries, that's less bad because it's 45 berries progress, but
Yeah,
still not
like
overly great.
yeah, from a risk reward perspective, like the risk is decently high and the reward is like it's one objective. I don't think Sam needs it to win. So it's gonna leave it, and I think that's the right call.
Yeah, I agree here, honestly. 1-up in 5A is actually kind of slow. And no, we're not going to be doing stupid 1-up routes before you suggest it.
We do see Sam getting a couple berries here. Not totally sure why, but in the back of his toolbox. Oh, there's all collectibles in 5A on the board, I guess. If that ever matters, getting these bottom berries. You know you have a little bit of time because of the 3A. Salt's still struggling here. I kind of want Salt to just abandon... Well, do I want him to just abandon these shaft berries? And go get them later? Maybe I don't. The site?
I don't think Salt really gains a huge amount by skipping these berries, to be honest.
What is Sam doing? What's he cooking?
4 blue hearts? I think this is 4 blue hearts.
But he didn't get the 5A blue heart though.
That's what I'm confused about.
Well,
What
why
else
would
would
he
this
go
be?
for 4 blue heads but not get the 5A one when he was in 5A? What?
And I was gonna say it's 3 blue, 3 red, but then I realised that's not 3 blue, 3 red. That's 3A, 3B.
Is there any core on the board that this fixed towards? Not really.
No, there's not even any core on this board.
I personally think it's not quite the right time to go for 4 blue, but considering Salt is struggling later, Sam's clearly not getting punished for it.
Yeah, Sam did only get the cassette. Which is why I'm confused as to what this is. But I don't know what else this would be other than 4 blue.
I think it has to be 4 blue. I guess Sam is planning on unlocking Unraveling, and he didn't want to do that before, and he wanted to get the blue hat and then unlock Unraveling? Could be.
I'm not really sure about this order, to be honest. This feels
Oh.
a bit weird. I feel unlocking Unraveling first is just better here because it's not only faster, but also it means if you get locked out, you then still have Unraveling unlocked.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, he's not getting punished for it, so...
Yeah. At least not yet. There might be a time later where those few seconds do matter, but for now it's fine.
Meanwhile, Salt has slowed down a lot. This 3A definitely not something not nearly as clean as his early chapters, unfortunately. Salt
3A
is
hard.
Salt is one of those players who does play a lot of any percent, and is really quick with execution. But when you play on a totally different control scheme, and you're so used to playing levels quickly and just having strats work out because you've practiced them a dozen times, having that practice disappear is tough.
feel like saying a lot. I should say something more useful.
You could say something like, "Oh my gosh, Lead, you're absolutely correct. Why did I ever doubt you? Your commentary was so insightful and amazing."
Oh my gosh, Reed, you're absolutely correct. Why did I ever doubt you? And also, 2 objectives seem to have turned purple in the meantime.
Yes, they have.
And 4
Sam.
blue hearts is now... It's now teal. I want to say it's now blue because blue hearts, but it's not. It's teal.
Sam strikes back. He'll still be... Will he be ahead? Actually, he might not be ahead to reflection. It depends on execution here. And how many berries Salt gets, because he probably wants a couple for 45. Or not.
I feel Sam is ahead, but not by very much at all here. Sam
Yeah.
also doesn't seem to be able to skip finally, Sam found the skip cutscene button. So Sam wins Rescue Berry and Killer Seeker for certain here.
Oh yeah. Well, oh, is he playing 5A? Oh, he is. Oh, that's very strange. Having played 2B but not cashing in on the B-side synergy. It's a unique decision, but I think it's okay for him.
I think it's fine. He win 2 objectives.
For those of you unaware, in Bingo, the time it takes to complete 5A from an unraveling unlock is pretty equivalent to the time it takes to complete 5B, just by itself. So
yeah, 5B has progress towards 2 objectives. 5A is just 2 objectives. Well, there's only 1, I guess, actually, because Seeker kills is on either way.
Yeah.
I think it's like, what's it? 1 in hand, but 1 in hand is better than 2 in the bush, or whatever the saying is.
Well,
Like,
it's not really that, because 5A gets you Rescue Berry, and then 5B gets you Mila Temple B-sides. And 5B just
Temple
also
B is
helps
just
you to
on
other
this
stuff.
board. I'm clueless, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, if he's just also, like, doesn't feel like he's going to be comfortable playing 5B with different binds, like, that's a very reasonable
Oh my gosh,
factor.
Reed, you're absolutely correct. Why would I ever doubt you?
Wait, no. Oh no, wait. I didn't mean for you to actually say this all the time.
This is probably just the case of being faster at 5A than 5B, so deciding to do this so you don't lose late game.
Yeah, I suppose so.
After
So
successfully reading the board, I've decided that 5A is not necessarily any better than 5B.
oh, this is tight. I think Sam's ahead.
I think if you account for the 10-second stream delay, yeah, Sam is ahead.
Oh, with the 10-second stream delay, yeah, definitely. Completely forgot about that. That Sam just has that Deus Ex Machina in the back. I mean, eyes on Sam here. He'll need to struggle a lot.
Why have you just like smoked the delay? Does the delay just like not exist anymore?
Oh, stream delay has been fixed. Cool.
Stream delay was fixed. Oh, okay.
No more stream delay.
Sam has a secret kill and seems to be. Oh no, Sam ticked it. I was gonna say Sam's delaying it, but no, it's been ticked.
Yeah, Sam has the shorter segment. We'll have to get Rescue Berry here. But still has the shorter segment. I mean, for Salt's sake, he needs to win this reflection. Like, if not, the game is all but over.
I'm hoping Assault wins this reflection so we can have a content game.
It's gonna be tight. Sam pausing for some time in order to take off the objectives works in Salt's favor. It's hard to think about that small time loss ever mattering, but sometimes it just does. You can also see on Salt's screen.
Ooh, that's a long death for Sam.
You can also see on Salt's screen here that he's struggling to grab in a couple places, which is causing some deaths. I think that's very reasonable considering how different these players' grab binds are.
Yeah, that and the menuing binds were the main differences.
Yeah, Salt traditionally using his ring finger to grab now has to switch to his thumb in order to press space. It's fairly awkward as a switch. And we do see it here.
I've used my thumb for binds before, although I tend to avoid it because whenever I press my thumb, whenever I press the button with my thumb too much, I find my thumb gets sore, but just because I don't use it that much.
Sam struggles a bit in rescue. Salt takes a death. Who's going to stay ahead? I think it's Salt's game. I think it's Salt. Oh no, but he takes another death.
Yeah. Oh.
Eyes on Sam here. Is he going to get through this
Oh.
final loom? Salt takes another death. Sam's an eyeball loom, but everyone knows eyeball loom is tricky. No, Salt's death looping.
Oh,
Unable to grab onto this. Trying to just jump off.
And Sam seems to be out of 5A first before Sam finishes 4A.
Salt, you need to get into reflection right now. You need to be into reflection like 10 seconds ago. Oh my god, go, 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 go. Skip the chapter, get in the chapter, skip. Yeah, yes, okay. I don't think it's soon enough.
I mean, you lose Theo's for Saturn. Not Theo, sorry, Kevin hits.
Oh, Sam doesn't immediately go for the Kevin hits. They haven't turned teal yet? They turned teal.
Seems to have been immediately going for the Kevin hits.
Oh, Sam struggles a bit to get the last Kevin hit, but we can definitely see on stream that Sam is well ahead to them. We see Salt notice the takeoff and leave immediately, and it's a tough game, down 7-3 with less progress to B-sides. Oh no, neither of them have any progress to B-sides. Why did I think both of them had played 2B? Am I crazy?
I think so. I think you're crazy. I think I'm crazy as well.
Thank you.
Like, we're all crazy. Like, why else would we have spent, like, thousands of hours playing this one random funny mountain game?
Celeste Bingo is addicting. I'm going to be honest. It's a very fun game.
Actual, like, proper bingo recently. I've only played stupid nonsense.
Stupid nonsense can be fun, too. Sam's doing a bit of a lull in the action as he gets,
It's the 5th cassette. No, it's only the 4th. Sam needs one more cassette still for 5 cassettes.
Well, that'll be 1A, and that cassette's super quick.
I'm pretty sure Sam did not pick up the bino next to the cassette. That's I missed that.
It's a little bit unfortunate. Salt, having played 3A, traditionally wouldn't be able to contest binos, but with Summit open, it's anyone's game.
Salt has Summit and 4A access.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of binos.
2B has 2 binos. If Salt has another 2, he can go into 500 meters and just get them.
Oh
but Sam's gonna beat him to it.
Absolutely correct. Why would I ever doubt you?
Would you? Can we get like a little more narcissism here? Can we change it from Lead is absolutely correct to like Cookie is absolutely correct? A little more self-faith in here. Well, struggling a bit with 2B.
Happy birthday in chat.
Huh?
You're being wished happy birthday by chat.
It is not my birthday, thank you very much, chat. Salt having a fun time in this 2B. Actually playing reasonably well compared to his 3A. Suppose that chapter just did not look all that great for
By the
him.
way, it seems Sam is now going for binos, despite having not done binos earlier. As of course I did just overlook the bino, and Sam did pick up 6A bino.
Yeah. Salt grabbing a bino. Oh, 6 binos for Sam here. We can grab one in 4A super quickly and Shrine.
And 7 binos turns teal.
9 to 3 is tough.
It might become 9 to 4 once Salt finishes 2B. But still not a great situation to be in.
Well, I don't think Salt really has to take this immediately, but he might just understanding the game is lost. I'm just gonna tick this off
Was that
so
a 100
that
trap I just saw?
the game looks closer. Right. Salt entering Temple, gonna try snipe 1-up in 5A and maybe Temple B-side and the B-side synergy. I think that's reasonable. Sam's in 2B, so depending on this delay from Salt, we might get it. I'm sorry.
Go for 1-up here. 1-up in 5A is still on the board.
I'm sorry. For those of you who missed it, Satellite Sam, final loom of 2B stat, got the shockingly difficult wall bounce into a corner kick. Or wall kick? I don't know how Celeste
This
terminology
does look
works.
like an attempt at 5A 1-up.
It does. Don't worry, I have faith in Sam. That's Salt. They're basically the same person, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
they're the same
start with
person.
an
Both their names
S.
begin with S. They're both just people playing on the stream at the same time. They're the
This
same
is
person.
kind of awkward for Salt here with the 1-up route. Yeah, does take a death. This is still an awkward route to do the 1-up in for Salt. I'm not sure how he's planning on getting this central Bailey as
Central
part of
Row
his
is not
set.
too bad, right? It's only just like a tight tunnel of 3-frame down dash.
Yeah, it's tight. You've got to, I think, hyper into that bubble. Yeah, it's best to start with this Bailey,
Yeah.
then
There
work
we
your way
go.
around clockwise, counterclockwise. Oh my gosh. We do see Salt attempting that for a little bit here. Thankfully, he hasn't collected, so we trying the 1-up is
Don't you
just
do it
as simple
clockwise?
as.
Why are you saying counterclockwise? It is clockwise, right? Oh, no, it's counterclockwise. I know which way a clock goes, but I'm not clueless. Honestly, I think Reed is right here. Why would I
You
ever
didn't
count
even-
you?
Anyways, we do see Sam getting close to finishing 2B. This is a little worrying for Salt here. If he doesn't finish this 1-up in time, Sam will finish 2B. The arbitrary measure, it does turn purple though. Wait, this was so close. Oh. If Salt stopped for the 1-up, he might have lost it. But he didn't, thank goodness. And we do see safe
Pauses
B-side.
doing the 1-up to 2B, and it locks Sam out by 1 room.
What a legend! Oh my god! Why did I count Salt out of this game? What? Holy heck! Salt, the absolute
2B
bingo
finally is
legend.
merciless.
I see bingo players make that mistake so often. It's like, I want to delay this objective until I get this other objective. But if you're struggling on this other objective, your opponent isn't gonna wait for you. They're gonna finish it. Your timing on these sorts of things should be dependent on just how long it's
keys
been.
in 2.
Yeah, for Salt, this
Sure
is
how I
a
feel about
5
this.
keys in 2, 3 keys in power source play, which, to be fair, he doesn't know Sam just did 2B and is gunning for
Where's the 3
B-side.
keys in power source? Oh, there's the 3 keys in power source. Okay.
Yeah.
It's less bad now that I've actually noticed that there's 3 keys in power source on this board.
This is 2 objectives, one of which is uncontested, which it's not really like ideal, but
It's not good,
happen.
but it's not exactly bad.
There's also the thing that Sam is trying to play 3 B-sides here, but getting 3 B-sides is kind of tough when you're playing on binds that aren't your own. 5B might be 5B might be a bit of a challenge. Eyes on Sam here to see if he can get through this section cleanly. Eyes off Sam here. Back onto Salt. We see some clean farewell gameplay. No DTS, but does seem to be very comfortable in this chapter.
My gosh, Reed, you're absolutely correct. Why did I ever doubt you?
Also, thank you to 42 kill. Well, just thank you to 2 kill for the late here, lading with a party of 10. Welcome to the stream. We have the 3rd game of Control Swap Day 1. It's been an exciting game so far. Oh, it's been an exciting day so far. This game a little bit less so. 9 to 5. Sam looking to run away with this game.
Closest game yet. I think this has been the closest game yet to read what you're saying.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the other ones.
But the first one was 13-2, Reed.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh. It's okay as long as
that wasn't too bad. The first one was 13-2.
It's okay. The whole point of being on commentary is to talk very confidently and just have no one question you. It's fine.
Oh my gosh, Reed, you're absolutely incorrect. Why did I not doubt you? No. There we go, Dragon. Thank you for putting it into words for me.
Some
Oh my
powerless
gosh, Reed, you're
gameplay from Salt
absolutely
here.
incorrect. Why would I ever believe you?
Some powerless gameplay from Salt here. We see him struggling to do a wave dash into this jelly, which I think is extremely reasonable considering.
I struggle to do a wave dash into this jelly with default binds, or not default binds, but my normal binds sometimes.
Yeah, if you sit down and think about it, strats that are normally strats that you normally don't think about too much, like doing a wave dash into a jelly, the actual number of inputs, you have to jump up into the air to set yourself up for the wave dash down right, do the wave dash, then dash down right, jump, then grab the jelly and keep holding jump. That's a lot of inputs in a short time frame. So fully respect Salt for not doing that.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, Reed.
I don't mind the commentary.
Anyway, back to the game. So it's entering Power Source Hub while Sam is nearing the end of 5B. This looks like 3 A sides, 3 B sides, as well as the 5B itself are going towards Sam.
Yeah, lucky for Salt though, is that 5B will be ticked off before he's done here, which in particular means that he can delay this objective and potentially lock out Sam on a pretty big thing later, though. Who knows if Sam will actually go for this.
Could be delayed for a very long time here, I feel.
Pause buffering the Jelly Vader. I really respect that. Jelly Vader's a HUD. With binds that are not your own. Learning to let go of Clav and then...
fine if you have muscle memory for them, but learning them in the first place is impossible.
Yeah, absolutely. Jelly Vaders are one of those pieces of tech that you walk around and see Celeste players do it, and it looks so easy until you try and do it yourself, and it's just...
Neutrals are impossible until they just click and you can do them.
Yeah, neutrals are like that too. So,
and if you combine those two bits of tech together, you get jelly neutrals, which are even more impossible.
Yeah, big respect to Salt for understanding his strengths in a couple places and just taking easier, more consistent strats.
Anyway, Sam is going for Grabless Hollows. This is a tough objective.
Well, normally it would be a tough objective, but lucky for Sam, Grabless Hollows just means he has one fewer button to think about. His movement keys are all the same. He just has to jump and dash.
Its impact affected less by the control swap, I feel, but it is just one of the hardest objectives normally. This could be interesting.
Yeah, but Sam's familiar with it. So he knows when to input jumps and when to input dashes. And he seems to be pretty comfy with the neutrals, so... I wonder if Sam is using the same jump finger he normally uses. Because he seems to be super consistent with these neutrals.
Anyway, it looks like Sol to be wrapping up Power Source now. Just this one
Valiant
left.
attempt. Sadly, winning a Celeste Bingo game at 10-5 is close to impossible. So we will probably see Sol, well, eventually take these two objectives and then probably get little else. Sam here has advantage to Glabless Hollows, and to say nothing else of the other two objective win cons, there's 45 Baileys and all collectibles 5A.
Yeah, Sam is more likely to win con off the A sides than the B sides, and then, I don't know. Actually, that's not really win con, is it? That's just one objective, what am I saying?
Yeah, it's tough. We do see Sol going for Glabless Hollows a little too late. It's not going to work out for him. If he were here before Farewell, maybe it would have worked out, but there goes the tech. You see Sol on the menu here. What's he gonna choose?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is 100 trap. That's the second time that Sam's menued into 100 trap.
Sol goes for Summit, Sam goes to snipe 35 Baileys and maybe and potentially end the game off quick with 5 Baileys and Deco 8. Which, yeah, it's a reasonable choice. He could also potentially be here thinking about 5 keys in 2 chapters. Though, that is salts through and through. I mean, Salt does have a Bailey lead.
What is Salt going for here? Is this 45 berries and Summit progress?
Yeah, I think so.
Makes sense.
Sam has his 2 objective win con everywhere, and that includes Summit. And Sam is absolutely the type of player to just not worry so much about game length and just play the safest win con possible. And that would be Summit if Sam were playing traditionally, but I suppose you just don't want to play Summit B when your binds are on your own.
If Salt wins 45 berries, that's good. Good for Salt at least. Slightly less good for Sam, but I feel that it's gone less from whether Salt can win or not to how many objectives can Salt get before Sam inevitably wins.
Well, he has 2 in the bag. It's 11 to 7 at the minimum. I mean, probably as Salt, you call GG seeing the 5 Baileys and Pico 8 tick. So I don't think you get any more than that.
Yeah, probably. But then Sam just wins Theo cutscenes, and there's not really a whole lot you can do about that.
Some Pico 8 gameplay from Sam here.
And Salt decides to take the key objectives.
Just as Sam, well, gets to the 5th berry screen and takes it off. After a bit of playing. Do we see a GG call afterwards? Don't believe so. So we will play this game out.
The sound does not
Oh,
finish
no,
ranks.
just kidding. Called it a little too soon. Salt does call GG there, and
Oh,
ends the game.
Sam
12 to
goes
7.
summit just before Salt calls GG though.
I still don't think it was winnable, even locking out all 3
Yeah,
summit
no,
things.
it's not winnable, but it is funny.
Yeah, I mean, 3A, 3B sides is uncontestable. You're behind all collectibles 5A. It's just not happening. Good game.
And
Well
Salt
played to
skipped
both of
the A,
these two.
right? So,
Yeah.
anyway, I'll be going now whenever person who's replacing me is ready. I believe that's the random name. Whenever random's ready, I'll swap.
Indeed, it is random name.
No random. Goodbye.
I heard on the stream, like, I assume that's random name, and then I was like, good time to join, I think. Dragon, don't worry, we will be sure to yell at you plenty.
Alright. 4th match of the game. Dragon versus Mishi's. Dragon versus Mishi. This is the only match today which is pre-recorded. So these two did play their match in advance for scheduling reasons, and they are actually now both here to watch. How did that happen?
Yeah, what are these lies?
Well, regardless, I've been informed that this match is at least a little fun, so that'll be content.
Yeah.
Looking at binds for these two, Dragons usually plays on controller, Mishi usually plays on keyboard, which is to say anything goes. There's no telling how this match is going to turn out with regards to control schemes. Both players will be fishes out of water.
Because I know Dragon has like a low 40-80% on keyboard, but I don't know what control scheme of keyboard that is, right? I don't know which hand they use for movement. Given that they mainly do controller, that may well be left-hand movement, whereas Mishi does right-hand.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, we're going to see a lot of tomfoolery in this game, from what I can imagine.
Personally, I am hoping that Mishi wins, because if Dragon wins, I have to play Dragon, and me and Mishi have very similar controls, so Dragon's basically already practicing. But, like, all of their prep for this game was also prep for my game, except for, like, the pause and second jump lines. Those are, like, the 2 changes that matter.
Oh yeah, that's a little bit concerning. You and Mishi have almost the same control scheme. Your movement, your main jump, grab, and dash buttons are all the same. And demo.
And demo, yeah.
Okay, wow.
Alright, we have board. Let's see, board. 1-up and 1A. Both of them are going to go for it, and both of them are going to die. I'm calling it now. That is going to be the beginning of the tomfoolery. Actually, 1-up and 1A into 10 berries 1A is like such a synergy, except when you have different controls.
Yeah, normally we talk about things like understanding your strengths and not doing things you're not confident in. But when there's 1-up in 1A, 10 berries in 1A, 5 berries in 4 chapters, and 10 berries in 4 chapters, I think the correct move is suck it up and do the 1-up.
Right.
So,
or suck it up and just try to don't do the 1-up, but try to get the rest of the synergy so your opponent doesn't do much.
So this may be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean seeing like, one player fail a 1-up is oftentimes how a player just completely loses a match. So
yeah,
that's
what I'm thinking. Is since neither of these players is particularly comfortable here, probably if you go for just berries, don't try 1-up, you'll save a reasonable amount of time to be able to get 10 and 1-up.
Yep. Meanwhile, the rest of the game, there's a couple quick things in reflection. There's a smattering of resort, and that's it. That's all the objectives on the board. I don't see any others.
Yeah. I would personally advocate for skipping 3A, but there's just not a lot of mid-game period.
Yeah. I mean, you've got blue seeded berries, which is pretty quick in this mid game, but aside from that,
Yeah.
anything you want to do in mid game is a big commitment. Shrine berries,
Very-
10 and forward,
Yeah.
Globless Search, all of those take time.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like skip for 5 and 4, maybe 10 and 4 as well, 3 seeded, and whichever way you go, 5A or 5B, because despite the fact that those are generally skilled players, they might not be as comfortable in 5B on the new control scheme.
Okay,
but
Mishi
you
doesn't
can
go for
get-
1-up.
And Dragon
Mishi
does.
doesn't go for 1-up, but Dragon does, and doesn't go for the wall bounce here.
Amazing.
Play into your strengths, I get it. I mean, if you did practice a 1-up before him, this is the 1-up you would practice in 1A. So,
Yeah.
oh, but Dragon does take a death. But Mishi is
Yeah.
not. But Mishi has not capitalized on this and is not ahead. Dragon did well
Amazing.
to not do the wall bounce, I guess.
Mishi gets it eventually. Dragon restarts chapter.
Oh no! Please, okay. Just
Don't.
okay. For
Just
the record,
don't.
we will clown on Dragon here because she's an expert bingo player, but just as a cautionary
Ad has
tale.
requested to be cloud on. I should add.
Just as a cautionary tale to bingo beginners, don't do this. If you fail a 1-up, just move on. Just move on. Just keep playing any percent. Just don't even think about it until you're in a slightly better place, because restarting for 1-ups and just going for them over and over and not hitting them is the #1 way to completely throw away every chance you have of winning a match.
I would like to bring attention to the chat real quick, where we just have Mishi like, oh, did you enjoy Screen Shake where you spam confirm? Because by default, and I don't even think you can change this, WASD moves your camera on like the overworld map. Mishi and I both have D as confirm, which means if you spam D to get into a chapter, you just twitch back and forth. As it like moves to the right a little bit and then tries to reset.
Yeah,
So yeah, we can make you have Screen Shake in the main menu, which is certainly an experience the first time you get it.
Dragon does
It
get a
might
1-up.
be debug enabled. I don't think it's debug enabled. Maybe it is. I don't know. Dragon does indeed get 1-up.
Despite our warnings, but at what cost? She's so far behind to every objective.
I'm not
Well,
going to agree
no,
with you.
I mean, that being
You
said,
there,
Mishi is. Yeah, taking a look at Mishi's screen, this is not going as planned.
Yeah, like in theory, oh yeah, Mishi should be halfway through 2A. In actual fact, there's like 2 rooms of separation, and it's decreasing.
Make that 1 loom of separation. Make that no looms of separation.
Yeah, Dragon just has 2 objectives now, and they're in the same room.
To be honest, it's almost worth it to hyper B-hop across this chasm because you just press fewer buttons. You just have to worry about fewer keys to keep track of.
Or demo hyper. That's even less.
That too.
Alright, so Mishi is having I think. Well, I wasn't here for. I wasn't able to see Creep, but I'm going to say this might be the worst chasm we've seen yet.
We had a chasm without dashing. That was a bit of a struggle earlier, but yeah, this is perhaps not going good.
Chasm without dashing is not chasm. That's a different category.
Wait, did we have it? No, we didn't have that. I'm thinking of a different bingo game. Sorry, guys.
I was going to question that, but I'm like, I didn't watch a lot of the 3rd game. Maybe there was. I practiced 1A, by the way. Good job. Good practice,
Oh
Mishi.
no, Mishi in chat. I practiced 1A, by the way. If this
Yeah,
is
Epic's
the
funny, we
practice
did-
chapter.
Epic is
Who
pointing out,
would've-
we did have a dashless start, which was me, and basically the one time I had to use the grab button the entire game.
Yeah. Bit of a
'Cause
struggle.
As you noticed with my thing in event discussion, I had my hands crossed, which meant I had to hit shift with my right thumb, like left shift with my right thumb, and that was just not working for me.
You could have hit it with your left pinky. Oh no, with your. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, that wasn't happening.
I even tried, like, what if I just don't hit left and I use my index finger? It didn't help.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I was going out
it's
of my
also
way
one of
to
those
just
things
do
where like
grabless strats.
it's also one of those things where like your hands are crossed, and so you just have a complete lack of coordination.
Yeah. Like, I just had to not think about where my hands were, but then every time I had to take an objective, I took both my hands off the keyboard, went and grabbed my mouse, so that I had to reorient myself onto the keyboard. So you may have noticed, like, every time I started playing, I just stood still for 2 seconds trying to make sure I had my hands on the right buttons.
Wait, did we just miss Dragon getting a 1-up in 2A?
I didn't miss it. I just didn't comment on it either, because I just figured that was the first part of the nonsense that's happening. Mishi is...
1-up in 2A isn't on the board.
Yes.
It's not a thing.
Correct.
Why did she do it? What?
Mishi?
She's struggling a little bit here.
The thing is, when I'm looking at this, I remember, like, how long it took Dragon to end stream. How did it take that long? What happens here? Because I know this isn't a fast game where Dragon just locks out 13-0 or something. So either something happens, or Dragon forgets how to play. Either Mishi improves or Dragon unimproves.
Okay, we see Dragon struggling some. That's okay, Mishi's struggling too. Mishi getting-
Deproves real.
Mishi getting her second barely of the game is now gonna go 2B. I'm so terrified to see what 2B is gonna look like.
That's not even on the board.
Blue and red head north side.
Oh, okay. So it is. That's still not on the
Random,
board.
you
I'm
know
going
what to
argue.
say. Come on, Random, you know what to say.
Find the fucking copy pasta. Nice hands.
Okay, I'll accept it.
I'm sorry. I knew there was an event discussion, so I went there and I just see nice hands.
We do see Mishi struggling a bit with this 1-up. This is savable. Fun fact, if you...
This isn't a 1-up. This is a seeded berry.
Okay, with the seeded berry.
You know what to say. You know what to say, Reed. You were asking for
my gosh,
narcissism. I'm
Random.
doing narcissism.
Oh my gosh, Random, you're absolutely correct. Why would I ever doubt you? That physically hurt.
Now you understand why I didn't say it.
We do see Lead the Poem and Awake turn purple. Sorry, we have not been providing the most.
Something tells me this is the same quality as commentary I got on my game, so I'm not even gonna apologize.
By the way, for the record, Mishi, I believe that you can actually, if you like stand on one of these dream blocks, but then immediately dash down, I don't think it kills your seeds.
That is correct. In fact, who was it in game 2 that abused that? I want to say Julie abused that a little bit in game 2.
Well, things to note. Right, we do see Mishi getting the blue
Julie, we're
head.
blaming you for things. Don't worry about it.
We do see Mishi attempting to get the blue hat. Oh no. Does get up there. It's fine.
Mishi, I had so much faith in you, and I have lost all of it.
It's alright. This game goes on for some more period of time. It won't 13-0. It's fine.
Yeah, surely.
Okay. Dragon skips the A super handily.
Chris, I can do that. I got you.
And Dragon is into chapter 4.
Oh, I thought you were saying Mishi was into 2B, and I was like, why are you saying Dragon? No, Mishi is in 2B, Dragon is in 4A. We have very similar routes here, I see. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think how to actually commentate in Japanese. I'm like, you know, my vocabulary isn't great, and I also need to think before I say things in Japanese.
Just say words that don't mean anything, and no one will be able to tell.
本当にそれはいいですね。誰も日本語わかりませんから、何でも言ったけど、誰も僕はいけません。
Yeah, absolutely. Mishi realizes that 2B is not the correct choice for her and goes, no, not again. Oh, no, no, no.
I'm
Not
sorry.
again.
Oh.
I barely made it through the first time. I don't know if I can handle this again. Oh, please just get the screen. Please just get the screen. I don't want to be stuck in here for another minute, Mishi.
So, I would just like to say, Dragon was failing archery for a solid minute there, and I don't think either of us noticed.
Commentary.
Dragon was like demoing Edge of the Bubble, but it wasn't actual demos, so it didn't work.
Okay. We do see Mishi getting through the stream block. And in the meantime, Dragon is
Please watch my screen once we get to Old Trail. I'm going to be watching your screen as soon as you get to first blocklist room, because I want to see if you try.
Okay, we do see Mishi.
Good death, Dragon.
Get into intervention.
Maybe technically
up,
not.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Into intervention.
There we are. Yep. Okay. Now we see Mishi get into intervention.
Bit of struggle, but we do get there. Meanwhile, Dragon going for all berries and shrine from the looks of it.
That appears to be correct. Unpause second block was real.
I don't know how she knows if she has the time for this, but like she's right.
I'm guessing the answer is she doesn't. Though I will say one thing about like this tournament just generally is a lot of the time beginner routing is correct when you have beginner exec because no one knows what's happening. So despite like poor routing decisions, a lot of the time I won't complain about it because it can just work when no one knows what's happening. Like sometimes that's just correct. Like you don't know what you're doing, so you just get Shrine Art because it's there. This match will end with Dragon beating Old Trail 10-second block, as we're calling it now. Amazing. I've been pinged and simply told might be coming for you. What? Flying, that is so ominous.
Not what you were pinged about, but it's fine.
Oh, wait, that says from, not for. Okay. Oh my, I'm having microwave. That's what's happening. This is a thing that happens to me occasionally where my microphone just picks up noise that doesn't exist. I'm going to turn on push to talk for a little bit until this fixes.
Okay, sounds good.
Which means if I just stop speaking for 10 minutes, I probably forgot I'm on push to talk.
Mishi making an incredible save here. No, just kidding. Not making an incredible save here. God, Dragon, why are you doing this strat? Just get the block.
Reverse comms curves where it just happens as soon as you say it.
Do I have to commentate this match?
No, I'll do it myself, but the quality won't improve.
Okay.
I do have more time to think about Japanese comms. I'll go back to doing that, actually.
Alright. Mishi on the right here does get out of that screen pretty handily, and is working her way through intervention. At this point, I think it's pretty clear that with Mishi's execution level, it's not likely she's going to be able to win this game. So we're just going to celebrate each screen clear as it happens. This one's going to be a tricky one. Really long screen.
はい、ドラゴンは本当にチャードウルトラをしたいですけど、じゃあ B ハー technically。このゲームスリートは2人とも本当にバカです。
Yeah, and she goes for the block hyper instead. I can speak in a foreign language too. I can speak in Spanish.
じゃあ、スペイン語を話してください。
Yeah. Dragon go to the block she the attempt the block move.
それは英語です。
Okay, we get Dragon gets into Ore Trail, Mishi gets past her screen. Miraculously, it's a good day for the bingo community.
Alright, Dragon did say to watch the Bingo Trail, so I am watching closely.
This seems normal.
Do I have to add an English only rule? Fine, I will not.
Okay, as soon as I say this seems normal, Dragon struggles at the end of eventually Ore Trail in 1. But does get through it.
Add another tag epic.
It's fine, Dragon. It's fine. It's fine. Oh my god.
Okay, actually, that happened to me. Like, every single set of binds I've tried, that happens to me with Sev's binds, that happened to me with creeps until I found the optimal strategy.
Alright, Mishi has completed 2A. Let's go. Where is she off to next? Where is she getting
Nowhere,
the objectives?
apparently.
She do be chilling on the main menu. It's okay. They're making equal progress right now.
That's not wrong. I just remembered that Reed asked me to give them like a Japanese sentence for the fanfic, which you should all read. It's amazing.
Anyways, back about the bingo game that's currently happening. Dragon is about to finish the screen, and Audrey does manage to get through it. Mishi is going for this barely while a bingo board covers half her screen, but she's cool, so it doesn't bother her like that.
Just pulling out the ad strats, I see.
Yeah, wall bounces. They're tough.
Doesn't someone have a, like, wall bounce command that's just like wall bounces are GM plus and then, like, counting tech?
Yeah. I don't know where, but that sounds about right.
I remember I saw that, I just don't remember where it was. I watch, like, very rarely watch people stream stream Celeste. Like, unless they're, like, new people that don't know what they're doing, because that's funny.
Okay. Dragon getting through Ore Trail. Thankfully done with that. Mishi in 3A start, trucking along.
So I'm just thinking about this. We have Is Dragon? I think Dragon's going to be out of 4A before Mishi is out of 3A start, which is certainly a set of exec levels.
It's fine. Meanwhile, Dragon is just having the cliff face of a life after having struggled so hard on Old Trail, just cruising by these screens. Really impressive, honestly. Wait, no, actually, how? You were struggling so much in Old Trail. What happened?
They said their vibes just clicked here.
Okay, then.
Mishi also says we're getting close to a thing, so that's interesting.
A thing? Has this match not been enough things?
Someone's going to just miss menu RTN, aren't they? I actually did that once during practice on Seb's vibes.
She's struggling a bit here with this loom. Perfectly acceptable. With new binds, trust me, Mishi is playing on controller for potentially the first time. It's so difficult to get used to Celeste. I'm not speaking from experience, I'm just spitballing, but it is so difficult.
Epic? Yeah, I think actually out of what we've seen, Ad has the best exec. The thing is, it doesn't matter, because next round we all have different binds again.
Wildly, yeah.
Yeah, like, next game, assuming Dragon wins this, I'm on controller. Dragon gets to do basically the same thing, but then Ad and Sam have to switch their binds. And their keyboard with opposite hands, which, in my opinion, is the hardest thing to learn, is just switching your hands. Because you try to muscle memory, because you're, like, somewhat familiar, but then it's just all wrong.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Ad, your exec was, like, extremely good. You've, like,
absolutely.
a lot of practice. I mean, Sam and Salt both had very similar binds, so most of it was good, but, like, they did make a good number of mistakes as well. They weren't, like, actually playing at their normal level. Yeah, honestly, I can't wait for the first round of the finals. Regardless of who's in it, just seeing the lack of prep time.
Will be interesting.
Yeah, because if I remember right, after the semifinals tomorrow, there is going to be a showcase match of some variety, and that is all of the time that the finalists have to learn their binds. And then they're going to play 3 games on them.
I will be a little bit careful and say that currently, only the idea of a showcase match is planned. There may or may not be one. Regardless, we will have semifinals and finals tomorrow, so feel free to tune in.
Okay,
Probably nearby at the same time.
I'm just telling lies because I was aware of a plan at one point in time, but not necessarily now. And the fun part is we don't just die.
Alright, Dragon continues to get objectives.
Mishi continues to beat rooms occasionally.
Yep, absolutely. We do see Mishi getting close to her first objective, that is Books, Tower, Chest. She is in Books, so potentially we'll see that coming into play.
I cannot.
4 minutes.
Okay, I was gonna ask if Mishi was grabless, and then I realized they're like actively grabbing walls, so they're not doing grabless mess.
Yeah, no. Which fully fair.
Yeah, that given the amount that they're already struggling, that's very reasonable. Doing neutrals on a new control scheme is kind of the worst.
It's really tough, especially when it's on controller versus when you're used to playing on keyboard.
Yeah. I mean, switching hands is like you try to do a neutral and you just repeatedly jump away from the wall because you're always hitting the direction first instead of the jump.
Okay, Dragon collects some more berries, is going to work her way up to 10 berries in 4 chapters here, I believe. And also potentially all depths berries in 20 and 5A. Actually, there's a lot of berry synergy here.
Nice demo from Dragon.
Meanwhile, Mishi and Chess. Wait, what? No. Wait, guys, wait. Mishi, you're in
Yeah,
the wrong
actually-
checkpoint.
Mishi! Mishi, we had so much faith!
The objective is Book's Tower Chest. Mishi finds herself in chest before towels. No!
Dragon seems to be unsure if they have Depth Arm, and unsure if they're able to get this last one.
But they do and they do.
Okay, it has happened.
No. Mishi, you have to get an objective. Okay, bit of bingo lore. There have been a lot of bingo tournaments. Just in history. There have been a ton. Some bingo tournaments have been one-sided. Once in the 2v2 bingo tournament, one teammate didn't get a single objective. We have never had a 13-0. Not once. Not a singular time.
We did have a GG call at 8-0, though, I will point out.
Yeah, we've had a couple GG calls before 13-0, but we have never gotten to the number of a 13-0.
But
And with-
it doesn't mean it can't happen.
With Mishi failing to get the collect huge mess order,
Surely Mishi remembers Diary, right? Surely.
how would she miss it? You'd have to do demo to miss it.
You could just retry it, Key, and then just not think. Like, equally, how could you miss a mess order? You just have to look at the board and see a mess order.
I believe we have had a 13-1 before. So we've gotten close to a 13-0. I think at one point in content bracket we had Lufon as Zulio, and I don't remember if that was 13-1 or 13-2, but it was very one-sided. The players did pretty much the same thing.
Previous one, yeah, we have had a 13-2 earlier today, so.
Yeah, we also had a 13-2 earlier today. Supposedly.
Due to me having shenanigans.
Okay then. Oh yeah, that happened. I remember. Okay.
Reed, you were in VC when I realized this was a thing I could do, and I told you I was going to do it.
Yeah, I mentioned it.
Okay, it just seemed like you forgot what I had done.
Mishi, no! Mishi opens Bingo Sig chat. We can see it on his stream and types A's in all capitals to indicate her distress. I'm right there with you. I feel for you so much. Doing the long mess order is one of the worst feelings in Celeste Lockup Bingo, all the way up there with returning to map at the end of intervention. It is heartbreaking.
I know the Dragon actually RTM because they missed Grabless Search, but I did hilarious thinking like, she said Dragon just got scared and left the chapter. That's actually what I thought for a brief moment is, but she said Dragon just for no reason was just like, oh okay, seems like a good cue to leave.
Dragon choosing one of the ways to do this room. Just, hey, if it works.
If it works, it works, but why in God's name would you be doing neutrals on a control scheme you're not used to?
Dragon is vaguely used to keyboard control schemes. So
That's
as long
fair.
as you just put the right finger on the jump button, you can just do neutrals.
That's fair, yeah. Gosh, I'm scared to play Dragon tomorrow.
It'll be interesting.
I might be able to get my exec on
Hey,
par with
I
this.
can't believe you would count
No,
Mishi
that-
out so quickly. Mishi can still. Why is she back in Huge Mess?
Okay, so you remember when I said surely Mishy's going to get Diary and Shaft? And we said, like, how could she possibly miss it? This is how.
Okay, Dragon can't get full. What are the fastest full objectives for Dragon? They're nowhere nearby. Reflection Cassette, Easter Egg Loom, 1 Bino in 5 chapters. And like 20 berries in 5A. She's nowhere close. It'll take forever. Mishy has like 15 minutes. Okay.
We love just seeker boosting out of the room instead of walking.
Oh, by the way, Dragon, if you go 3A after Temple, I will never forgive you. Despite that, we see Mishy casually moving through these screens. Tower chest is one of the slower mess orders.
Yeah, it is also retry order, and Mishy does realize, thankfully. I forgot I was watching the wrong screen. I was like looking at the stream, which is a few seconds behind. I was about to say Mishy doesn't do it, and then they do.
Okay. Dragon tries to get the cute Theo Preserve momentum thing in that loom. Doesn't get it, but is going to be in a good place to sneak by the Seeker. We see some towels action on Mishy's side.
Also, Mishy's putting out in chat, like, for this match, Mishy had to grab and because they couldn't neutral, and Dragon couldn't grab. Now that I mentioned it, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of random neutrals from Dragon where you can just climb. For example, okay, actually, I guess you have Theo in your arms for that one. Also, that's an interesting way of doing that. I've not done it like that.
Just the Dragon special, I guess, inventing new strats. Okay.
Dragon just playing dashless because they don't know how to throw Theo.
Right, Dragon completes 5A, goes back to 2B. This is a little saddening. Mishy does have some progress to this, but probably is not going to... is not going to capitalize. Meanwhile, Dragon on the left screen, in order to avoid clapping, does a one-try on neutral over the first block.
Me and that one room in depths doing the exact same thing. Me and Dragon have an equal, like, idea of, hey, what if we just don't grab, actually?
To
It
be
is kind of
honest,
funny how much that has been a strat in this competition. Just
Having to
ignore the new grab button. Just don't use it.
having to adapt to 3 buttons is so much harder than having to adapt to 2 buttons if you're already familiar with the movements.
Yeah.
So, Dragon is a controller player. Mishy is playing on controller. But Dragon has dabbled in keyboard in the past and does know how to move using the arrow keys. So, just
Yeah, if I
using
remember
2 buttons
right-
for her licks.
If I remember right, Dragon said that she has played, like, she plays, like, arrow keys on keyboard and has, like, a 42, so...
Do we see the tick? We see the tick!
Mishy has an objective, let's go!
Okay. Huge. Can we get to 2 objectives?
Surely not, that would be far too much.
Dialing an elevator shaft is right around the corner.
I mean, so was Huge Mess 20 minutes ago.
I mean, if Mishy can secure 3 objectives, Mishy can officially declare herself as not the most lost game in this round 1. Some casual 2B action from Dragon, as she struggles to figure out which demo key is which. Absolutely funny. Does get through it.
Yep. Alright, and Heart Room is looking like a Heart Room of Chibi. Dragon, why are you down there?
Yeah, thankfully neutrals are useful on the screen. Or not.
Nope, Dragon would not need those silly neutral jumps.
Blue and red heart and Ord Sight gets ticked. And there are now 3 things in reflection, so Dragon will be winning this game soon. Will Mishi be able to get to a 3rd objective? She's got Diley and Shaft lined up right here, but what else could she possibly get in such a short window? No, really, what else could she possibly get in such a short window?
Skip 4A, 1 key and power source, I think is the fastest way you can get an objective.
Oh, yeah, Glabless Mess. Glabless Mess. That's an objective, right there.
Oh, right, yeah, that does exist, doesn't it? I don't think Mishi can, per se.
Well, Mishi, regardless, does get through a couple looms leading past the demo loom, and is now paused. Are we seeing a GG call? No. She plays on. I gotta admire the determination.
Determination, is that a Celeste reference?
You know, Celeste is not the video game that you normally put in that sentence.
Yes, I'm aware.
So yeah, Dragon here getting Reflection Cassette at probably 1 by 1 5 chapters, or at least she has access.
That's amazing. I just got a notification that Jax is like streaming weekly blackouts instead of watching this very important bingo game.
A little bit
Oh
of
yeah,
cassette.
Dragon, same, exactly. This is the worst.
Some shenaniganery later, we do get 1 in 5 and Reflection Cassette. Not in that order for some reason.
Why would players do things that make sense when they can simply not?
Okay. Dragon here encroaching on Presidential Suite, but
What? What are you saying?
I really tried. Well, she was encroaching on Easter Egg Loom and Reflection, but she is now gone and has decided to end Granny's life. This is really embarrassing, and she didn't like the way she did it, so she restarted chapter and went for it again. 3rd time's the charm, 3rd time's not the charm. Are we gonna get an ETS?
Attempt number 4? No.
Okay, maybe Mishi will
This
get the
is how Mishi can still win. This is how Mishi can still win.
I'm being informed in chat that Dragon simply doesn't know how to play the first handful of checkpoints of Farewell with 1 dash.
That is correct. I saw one time where they were routed in Katego and had to do it, and they literally turned their name into never play single dash Farewell again for like a week.
Oh.
They actually hate it.
Yeah.
Dragon, you know you have like 11
be
other
noted.
objectives on the. You have like 10 other objectives on the board. There are 10 of them.
It should be
Almost
noted, conventionally speaking, this is generally accredited as the easier half of the dash trigger skip. The harder half, especially with custom binds, being doing the super over the trigger later on. What?
Dragon going into the Dragon cheating arc, I am up? Oh no, they're just checking the
Dragon's
binds.
just looking.
Dragon investigates what binds exist to know what they have to do.
Left control? Nope, that ain't it.
Dragon, there are so many other objectives.
It's okay, this is how Mishi can still win this.
I'm starting to understand what took so long. See, Dragon, this is why you map them yourself, so you don't have to, like, look up on your keyboard. You've already done it once.
This can't actually be happening, right? We won't actually be stuck here for like 10 minutes.
Surely not.
Oh?
Yo, levitation? Real?
The worst part is that's the easy half. Like, we're not even done. Dragon's just gonna fail the second half. Like, we're still stuck here.
Honestly, I've been watching Mishi. I think they've made one room of progress in the same time. So, like, it's not like this has been bad for Dragon.
I take everything back.
Dragon almost falls twice.
Yeah, it's alright. She does get all of DTS and is in farewell.
We love the little Frogalin spam.
Mishi opens Bingo Sing chat to type, Dragon is screaming. Yes, and I don't know where she is.
So for context, this was mentioned at the beginning of this, like, recording. They were in VC, not even talking about the game, just saying things.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
Dragon hit DTS, yelled yes, and Mishi's just extremely terrified of this.
I see. Is Mishi gonna get out of this room? Oh my god. Eyes on Mishi here? She's been stuck here for a minute?
Only
more than a minute?
She's been stuck here most of the time Dragon was doing DTS.
Oh, that's so satisfying.
Mishi, you have 3 B-sides complete. You can do 2 more and get an objective. Did I say B-sides? I meant A-sides, but you know what? I'm gonna keep that take.
Okay, Mishi skips into chapter 5.
Contest farewell.
Into chapter 5.
No, contest farewell. It would be funnier.
Okay. She's going for 20 failures in 5A.
Yes, Fly, I am going to keep that take. I don't know what you're questioning about that. It's a perfectly reasonable thing to say.
Can we, like, silently point out that despite having DTS, Dragon's Farewell is just not going much better?
Yeah, I will say, I am getting less concerned about my game tomorrow.
That'll be an interesting matchup. In fact, all of the matches tomorrow will be an interesting matchup. So, for those of you who are still sticking around, I highly recommend tuning in tomorrow for the second day of Control Swap. This is a 2-day tournament, just like all of our things. If this sort of format is popular and if people like this format, we might do more Celeste Bingo Studies like this, where we take where we make bingo tournaments with some sort of unique twist on original gameplay.
Also known as torturing innocent bingo players for no reason.
Yeah, so let us know if you're interested in this sort of content, if you support it, and feel free to show up tomorrow for the exciting, thrilling conclusion of this tournament. Is actually pause buffering the light dash?
Yes.
I respect it so much. She's getting the timing. It's just hard for her to switch directions.
I actually just had a funny idea for a bingo tournament that I could run, and I'm like going to actually think about a way to make this happen.
Would be nice. Mishi, pause buffering. Okay, that's the right frame. That'll work. Dash down. Let's go. Gets the berry.
We love the Plixona arc. The ultimate conclusion of any control swap, realize you can just pause buffer everything and don't need to learn.
You know, if you pause buffer every frame, you can just memorize all the inputs of the task and input them.
Yeah, Flying, I will DM you right now, or not right now, like after the stream. I need to like work on the idea a little bit more, because right now it's like very vague, but I think it could be interesting if like I figure out how to make it functional.
Alright, and with that, Dragon collects her 1 key and power source, the hardest key, of course, because it's Dragon name. Gets 13 objectives, and that is the game. GG. Congratulations to both players. And with that, Dragon advances to the next day. Unfortunately, Mishi is eliminated from the tournament.
Yeah,
Mishi
I'm gonna
some
agree.
fingers in chat. I hope
I'm going
Comms
to-
enjoy that one.
We did. I'm going to agree with Math Hacker. You definitely just said Dargan name. It's you tried to say dragon, and it just came out as Dargan name because I think I somehow got in there.
Alright, we'll take a quick look at the bracket here. Full exciting games today. Unfortunately, not all of which were close, but all of which promise some really interesting matches tomorrow. Satellite Sam versus Ad, Dragon versus Landmame. The winner of those two will play a best-of-3 finals match, for which players will have, best case scenario, an hour to prepare with their opponent's binds. It's going to be exciting, let me tell you. And with that, thank you guys for watching. Huge shout outs to Flying Ludicolo for helping to organize this event, and for the Lee stream, and to Cleep for coming up with the idea of Celeste Bingo, coming up with the idea of Control Swap. The Celeste community thrives on the suggestions, ideas, and help that volunteers provide, and acknowledging that is super important.
Real.
Anyways, with that, did Jax start his stream just to get waited?
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely yes.
Fine, we'll do it.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for players for playing, and yeah, see you tomorrow with very fun content because we don't. All of the games tomorrow are going to be like people playing with very different controls, either hand swap or controller versus keyboard.
It's going to be a total blast. And with that, show Jax some love, and see you all soon.